Okay. And with that, we should be live once again. So, hello everyone, it's your fair programming error that just refused to be fixed, Code here. And today we're going to be continuing our journey through Genshin Impact, specifically Fontaine. Because Fontaine is here, and we are very excited about Fontaine. Now you might be wondering, Code, where the hell are you? I haven't seen this area before. You never showed this off on stream. Yes, that is because I have finally decided to do a little bit of exploring around Fontaine. It is good, it do be good. So yes, I've not done much exploring, just a little bit. Enough to get to both of the new bosses and fight each of them once. So, yeah. Also, Spinne Neon, I know you were here earlier today again. Ooh, what was that tiny lag? So, yeah. Essentially, all I've done is went to this boss. Which, by the way, meant that I did my first little underwater exploration. Because you can't get to this without it. I'm still getting used to it, but it looks absolutely gorgeous, I have to admit. Again, it wasn't a surprise, we all knew it would look amazing, but just, you know, just to confirm that yes, it did in fact look amazing. Now, I think the fastest way to get over there is actually to just use public transportation. I think using public transportation might be my best bet at getting there. Right? Seems like it. So, let's do that. So I think it's one floor down, right? Yeah. Who needs the elevator? I can just go in like this. Alright. Can I wait for... Can I not? This should be the one, right? You're not gonna tell me I can't... Ah, there we go. There it is. Villain, hello. Welcome to the stream. Hello, hello. How are you? Alright, let's go. How do you do? When does the... Immediately. Alright, let's go. I will jump off mid-ride, but that is fine.
I am your tour guide for this trip, Alfan.
And thanks for the pinned message as well, Spinne. Good, you? Doing pretty well, just incredibly hot. It's incredibly hot. Like, I sat down, I set everything up like a few minutes before the stream, and I'm already, and both me and my PC are already getting hot. Oh, wait, that's my stop already. That was fast. Alright, I'm here.
Huh. According to Malusa's info, the synth production base is underwater. Let's go and try to find the entrance.
Alright, on it. So funny, when does the... Immediately. Yes. So if you... I have to admit, so far it seems pretty nice, honestly. Can I... There we go. Like, the controls are very intuitive, I have to say. They nailed the controls, absolutely. Is that it? Looks like it.
Finally found it! Huh. So this is the entrance that leads to the synth production base. It sure doesn't seem out of the ordinary at all.
Well, I don't want it to stand out, exactly.
Ah, you're right. An important place like this is bound to have a ton of protective measures and mechanisms.
I found that out after attempting my first section of combat. And that combat went as follows. I got a few attacks in, realized I do barely any damage, then I swam back to the surface, led those creatures to the shore, and killed them with my actual elemental skills from the shore. While they were in range. Amazing. And then after that I learned, oh, hang on, I can get abilities from these creatures.
Navia's probably arguing up a storm right now to stall for us.
Meanwhile, inside the Opera Epiclese... Oh, we're gonna play both sides, huh? Is that how this is gonna go? Oh, I am intrigued. Are we just gonna see what happens?
It would appear that I must repeat my question again, Mr. Tartaglia. Do you accept the charge that you are the true culprit behind the serial disappearances case?
Of course you won't.
To be perfectly honest, I don't understand your country's complicated court system, or the reason why I'm being charged with something I've never even heard of.
Well, there you
However,
go.
I did hear that people who have been charged can choose to participate in a duel to clear their name. Is that right?
Child,
In
please,
which
just
case,
defend your
as long
name.
as I accept the charge, I can have an all-out fight with that champion duelist Clorend, right?
He's actually gonna
I've
accept the
gotta admit,
charge. Are you
that's
kidding?
one of the most enticing offers I've ever received.
Is
When
it
I
so
privately
boring to your
sparred with her
box?
last time, she was
Right,
obviously
and then go
holding
back. You need big
Really
storage so you can
disappointing.
do everything in a big session.
Hey, don't you understand? You're currently the prime suspect for a major case. This isn't the place for you to be looking for fights.
Every
Oh,
place is the place for him
Sounds
to
like
be
the
looking for
Hydro Archon
fights.
wants to lecture me
That's
on the
just how
ways
he
of the
is.
Opera House. Then why don't you duel me too? I'm the kind of student that learns best in the heat of battle.
Asking to duel the Hydro Archon, huh?
No. That's not what I meant.
Alas, it would appear that communication with the defendant is going poorly, and we have made very little progress.
I mean,
In
he
that
do be
case,
awesome,
let me
but he's
explain
not
everything
really
from the
clearing
very
his name here.
The goal of this trial is to determine the culprit behind the serial disappearances case.
That case had nothing to do with him. You've got the wrong
Ah, finally, he has an attorney.
What's going on? Why is she interjecting again?
I told you it couldn't be one of the Fatui harbingers.
Again, they
Miss
were trying
Navia,
to
this
pin
is
stuff on the
second time
Fatui
you've
before.
interrupted the court proceedings. I only tolerated your behavior last time because you were able to provide the court with a key eyewitness. But that was an exception rather than standard court protocol. I can
Again,
very well charge
why,
you with contempt
if
of
he is
court
behind
for your
it, then why would the
interjections.
Fatui intend to
Oh,
pin the crime
please.
for everything
Did you
on the
ever think
Fatui?
I had any respect for this place's pointless theatrics?
What would they get out of pinning the crime on
We can put
themselves?
The discussion aside for now.
So of course
I'm
he's not
here to
behind
argue
it.
with you. I'm here to charge the true culprit behind the serial disappearances case. And if my charges prove true, then Tartaglia here will be proven innocent by default, correct?
Oh, a young lady has charged in and offered to clear my name. How fascinating. Well, I'd gotten half bored to death by all these rules and procedures anyway. So I'll take you up on that offer. So, Your
How
Honor,
generous.
is there nothing else for me to do now?
You may take a seat for now in the audience, but that doesn't mean the suspicions against you have been lifted.
Can I join
Now
him in
then,
the
Miss
audience,
Navia,
or do I have to
who
play
is the
and
person you
actually
would
do
like to charge
this?
instead?
I might have to do this.
That person is...
Wait, oh, right. So I have to charge Marcel right now, right? Suspect, or do I have to present the suspect analysis? Only one person who... This person is none other than Garcelle. Both of these would work. I guess they want me to submit the suspect analysis, though. But both of these things say Marcel. I'm gonna assume suspect analysis is what they want.
Marcel, the head of
Okay.
Confrérie of CodeErr.
Huh? What confrérie? Never heard of them in my life.
I've heard of them, but weren't they Spina di Rosula's sister organization?
Oh,
Yeah.
Is this going to be a friends to enemies type situation?
Perhaps.
Please let me remind you, Miss Navia,
There was some
that charging
backstabbing.
someone is an incredibly serious matter. Committing to the charge also means taking on the legal responsibilities associated with it. And if the charge fails, depending on the circumstances, you may also be charged with the crime of making a false accusation.
Oh, she's
Knowing
gonna
this,
proceed.
Do you still wish to charge this man?
She'll do what
Yes,
needs to be done.
I do.
In that case, I declare the charge to be valid. Miss Navia and attorneys, please take your places on the court.
So I do have to do the
Members of
reasoning
the
portion
guards,
of everything
please
again.
contact
Master
Mr.
Detective
Marcel
Code is
right
back,
away so that he
baby!
may stand trial.
After some time, a shocked and confused Marcel is brought to the stands.
Mr. Marcel, you will not require an attorney. Is that correct?
Oh, he won't?
Apologies. It all just happened so quickly. I still haven't figured out what's going on. I think an attorney won't be necessary. This is probably just a misunderstanding between me and Navi.
Very well.
Nah, no
In that
misunderstanding
case, since
here.
both sides have now arrived,
Right, I am
Miss
playing
Navia,
Navia.
Please present your charges.
I would like to take everyone back to 3 years ago, to the case of Callus the Unfaithful. Only through elucidating what really happened in that case can we connect all the dots for the serial disappearances case.
Navia, do you really think that I was the one who killed your father?
No, the one who killed her father is no longer
Why would I do
alive.
that? Callus was my benefactor, and remember both you and I only ran to the scene when we heard the sound of a gun. If
Yeah, but
that's
you
enough to make me
organized
a
it.
Suspect, wouldn't that make everyone at that banquet a suspect as well?
The culprit is no longer alive.
There's no point in getting into the specifics right now. The audience doesn't even have the big picture yet. Even I'm
Here we
struggling
go.
to remember
A
some
gun.
details
Yeah.
of that case.
He did slip up once
Exactly
more.
correct, Your Honor. I must refresh everyone's memory about that case before I can explain my charge and reasoning.
I see. In which case, I will recount the findings about that case as originally recorded by Maison Gardiennage.
Alright, here we go.
On
All
the
right,
day of the
Nubila,
murder,
let's
Spina
see.
di Rosula hosted a large banquet in a countryside estate owned by the Confrérie of CodeErr.
Alright.
During the banquet, all attending guests heard 2 gunshots from the courtyard.
Except for one person who claims to have only heard 1 gunshot.
When the guests arrived at the scene, they found the primary suspect, Callus, holding a gun, while his acquaintance, Jacques, lay dead from a gunshot wound.
1 gunshot wound,
The
again.
guards' investigation did not recover any other firearms from the scene. As a result, they concluded that the suspect's first shot must have missed, while the second must have taken Jacques' life.
That is what you think.
The suspect did not dispute this conclusion, and also declined to defend himself in court. Instead, he chose to prove his innocence through a duel.
Which he lost.
Callus was defeated by champion duelist Clarand in the ensuing duel, and soon succumbed to the injuries.
I see what you mean. I see what you mean, Spinner. But now it is time
These are the
to
known facts
look
about the
into
case.
this properly. Even though I worked all day, see I have a good time streaming. Thank you very much, and thanks for checking in. I do appreciate it. You take the time to rest. Alright, let's see what we can do with our evidence from last time.
The kill was Jacques, not my father. And even so, Jacques still had no reason to pull the trigger. In truth, the third person shot Jacques first, and was shot in turn by my father when my father seized the gun from him. After that, the true culprit turned the third person into water, erasing all traces of him from the scene. Thank you for the summary, Your Honor. Of course, the guard's conclusion appeared quite sensible to us at the time.
Yeah, but new
However,
information
we
has
should
been
revisit
revealed.
the case now that we've gained new information about the abilities of water from the primordial sea.
Alright. Let's see what we got. Hosted a banquet. Yeah. Two gunshots. According to the investigation, Callus, who had motive to kill, Jacques for his betrayal. What motive to kill? Do we have something for this? Does it not carry a gun? No, not the Gardamex, they have nothing to do. Self-defense. Clothing of an unknown person. Dissolve people. First shot must have missed while the second must have taken Jacques' life. Circumstances. It's based on the circumstance where there's no third person on the scene. It turns out there's a method that can cleverly cover up the killer's tracks. Photos from the scene. The way this leaves off, but there is a method, makes me think they want me to use the primordial water here. What was this? Did not dispute, that much is true. It is now certain that Cass did not bring a gun with him over detail of the case towards the possible existence. Details of the case, yeah, possible existence of a third person, that would be the clothing, right? Clothing of an unknown person.
This assassin first shot Jacques, then turned to shoot Callus, only for Callus to wrestle the gun from him and kill him instead.
And then they do want this here, right? It turns out that there is a method that can cover it up. That method being the primordial seawater.
A pile of clothing was found at the scene. The guards once believed they were used by Jacques as a costume to disguise himself. But
Which
now
isn't true.
It is clear that the clothes were proof that there was a third person at the scene, and that they were turned into water after committing the murder. Since it was raining that
Oh,
day,
long
the
dialogue for
culprit
this
was
one.
confident that they could use the rain to wash away all traces of their dissolved accomplice.
Alright, again, this one is true. So, large banquet. Yeah, that happened. The banquet happened. Motive to kill. According to investigations, Callus, who had motive to kill. Is it self-defense? Callus did not carry a gun. Would that fit here? No. Gunshots. Callus, who had motive to kill, murdered Jacques for his betrayal. He did not carry a gun. What do you mean?
Right. Let me think for a little while longer.
Heard 2 gunshots. So, and from the 2 gunshots, they deduced that he shot. Why would there not? Why would you not put the fact that he didn't have a gun there? Fine, if they're talking about the motive to kill, then this. But again, this was it, or was there something else? Like, this is just another question. Fine, then it's this one, I guess.
The testimony of the victim's family confirms that Jacques had thoughts of assassinating Callus when he set out for the banquet. However, in the end, he reconsidered, and instead shared everything with Callus, hoping to seek the latter's protection. Unfortunately for Jacques, the true culprit had already considered this possibility, and had sent out another assassin.
Alright, we got this one.
Realizing this, the true culprit caused the hired assassin to dissolve into water, leading everyone to believe Callus was responsible for Jacques' murder. This is the true version of events.
Uh-huh. Alright, we got this one. A little bit of a slight slip-up in there. But I feel like that slip-up was justified.
Ah, so that's what happened. Wait, you're telling me something as dangerous as water from the primordial sea has been used for all these years?
Yes.
What a great theory. It also explains Callus's and Jacques' respective motives. I guess they didn't shoot each other after all.
Mr. Marcel, you are the one being charged with the crime. You should provide a rebuttal if you wish to prove your innocence.
He's still banking on the fact that
But
she'll
I think I agree with
call it
everything
off.
Navia just said. In fact, there was nothing in her speech that directly implicated.
Yeah, he's gonna go along with it as long as he's not
Then,
implicated.
May I ask some questions? In my opinion, we primarily need to determine 2 things. 1, do you have the evidence to back up your claims?
I'm afraid not. At least not at this very moment.
Boo! If you don't have any evidence, you should just
Wow.
go home.
Imagine
may
if
not
court
have the
cases
evidence
IRL
with me,
were
but
like
I
this.
know where I could go to collect it.
Boo! Bad
If you look
show.
up the deserted clothes against a record of people who went missing around the same time, we should be able to find a match. Considering the serial disappearances case, the guards probably kept careful records of all missing persons from around that time, regardless of age or gender.
That makes sense to me. Monsieur Neuvillette, I would consider this to be a reasonable investigative direction.
Why do I feel like Farina's acting a little differently today?
Maybe she's scared of embarrassing herself again?
I mean, it's a possibility.
Alternatively, she's become more diligent after charging an innocent citizen in the last trial.
My
Or a mix of
second
both.
question has to do with the ensuing duel. If the truth is indeed as you described, then why didn't Mr. Callis explain
Because nobody would have
himself in
believed him.
court? If he had testified that a person had been dissolved, he could have at least mounted a defense.
Yeah, but would anyone
thought
have
about this
believed him?
too.
Really?
And the answer is actually pretty simple. He felt there were things that were more important to him. The dissolving power of water from the primordial sea is an important secret for the true culprit of the serial disappearances case. My father could have exposed it for all to see, but he chose to take it to the grave. At that time, Spina di Rosula
Yeah, and
was
because
in
nobody
dire
would have
straits,
believed him.
and
Add that
his
fact on top,
reputation had
you know?
already been shattered. He had no guarantee that going forward with the truth would allow the culprit to be brought to justice. What was certain, however, was that it would paint a gigantic target on my back.
Boss once told me that Demoiselle had already been selected as the next target of the serial disappearances case.
What?
If the secret
Indeed.
had gotten out, the culprit would have fought an all-out war with Espina right there and then. I wouldn't have been the only one in danger. All of us would have stood to lose our lives. Of course, the guards might eventually figure out the truth of the matter and determine that we were in the right. But what good would that do? How can a hollow verdict protect anyone? Had this
Well,
opera
look at
house
that.
ever given my father any
She's
kind of
finally backing
confidence
up
in
her
its brand of
father after
justice,
everything that
Spina di
happened
Rosula
before.
would have had
How
no
nice.
reason to exist. But by staying silent, we retain the ability to deter our opponents and continue the stalemate. I was able to become Spina di Rosula's president, which made me harder to target, as well as giving me more time to grow and learn. And once I have figured out the truth and stepped up to the challenge, I will do what this opera house cannot, and restore my father's truth and honor back to him.
Damn, I feel like she's
So,
calling out one
you
person
mean to
specifically
say
by saying that.
Your father intended to die in the duelist's ring?
Yes.
That's right.
Do you have any proof?
Of course. All you need is to ask his opponent, Clarand. I don't need your apology, your guilt, or your support from the shadows. You don't have to do anything for my sake. But since he entrusted his will to you, Clarand, you should tell us the truth about his sacrifice.
Will she?
So, during the duel, did you believe that Callis was intending to die?
Yes, I did. As a champion duelist, I've
Well.
fought many battles and taken a countless number of dishonored lives.
Okay.
In
And
the
I
name of
feel
life,
like it's easy enough to
I've
trust
seen
her
all
word
kinds
here.
of people give their all for the faintest hope to continue living. Some were determined, others passionate, and some even manic and twisted. Just one look and I can tell if a duelist is hoping to live or if they're looking to die. I hereby swear
Yeah.
on my name and honor as a champion duelist that Mr. Callis never intended to leave the ring alive.
Well, and
Since
that's the
that's
final
your
proof for her as
testimony,
well.
I have no more questions. It appears there really are good grounds to reopen this case.
I concur. However, Miss Navia, you still have not explained the link between your father's case and the serial disappearances case.
Well, he was getting close to the truth, so they tried to
What
kill
she said
him.
was fascinating, but kind of beside the point.
Wait, weren't they just talking about the serial disappearances case?
Yeah, it's connected,
Of course,
obviously.
Your Honor. The two cases are connected via a matter of timing. In my father's case, the culprit intended to kill both Jacques and Callis. As a result, they planned to act after hearing 2 gunshots. And at the end of Lyney's trial, the culprit also only dissolved the victim in front of everyone because they realized they were at risk of being identified. The culprit could only time their actions so precisely if they were already at the scene. Coincidentally, Marcel attended
Oh, he was
both
at the
banquet
trial too,
and
you
the
say?
trial.
Well, that
So
is an
that's why
interesting
you suspected me.
coincidence.
Even after hearing your reasoning, I still can't help but find it a little preposterous. I'm used to it, though. You've always been an impulsive and sentimental child.
He's gonna go
It's one
for
of
the
your most endearing
emotions.
traits.
He's gonna try to use his He's gonna try to use
No
the
need to
attachment
appeal to
using the
pathos.
bonds.
I won't try to refute your points one by one, but even if everything you just said was true, can you prove that I was the only person present at both events? On top of that, does a
Well, we
person
know
have to
there's
be
an inside
physically present
spy.
to control the timing? Can't someone remotely monitor the place?
Damn.
Know what you can say to that.
I know that even with that, you might still think you can reduce the list of suspects with some further investigations until I'm the only one left on the list. Alas, who won't feel at least a little hurt by an accusation of murder from a girl you see as your own daughter?
Stop appealing to the
And if I were
emotions.
to dismiss this completely, you'd also think I'm not being considerate of your feelings. Ah well, let Uncle Marcel teach you another lesson. Do you know what the biggest flaw in your reasoning is?
I suppose you're gonna tell me anyways.
It's timing again. I'm a businessman by
Well,
trade.
look who
From
suddenly
that
got
standpoint,
serious.
There's no reason for me to kidnap young women. It's a high-risk action with nothing to gain. In addition, I left my home in Snezhnaya when I was young to come to
Snezhnayan,
Poisson
you
and
say?
work in some trade. My business
Immediately
only thrived
sus.
when I received Callus's patronage. But the disappearances began before I ever stepped foot in Fontaine.
I do apologize, demoiselle. This was my mistake.
No,
Well, that would have been
It's
good
not your
info to
fault.
have, I
I'm
guess.
sure he had come prepared.
Is there anything else you'd like to say? Would you like to check the date of my first business license against the first known case of the serial disappearances?
What if he took over
You
the
could
business
also
of somebody
take a look
else?
At my border entry records, or ask my friends and family when I left Snezhnaya for the first time. Could those records and testimonies do something to appease the unspeakable anguish in your heart?
Oh,
She
Marcel.
got the wrong guy.
I don't
At
think
this
so.
rate, Nadia will be convicted for falsely accusing him.
It's balanced out
I
now.
think you've done a superb
I like
job
the
of
fact that we were
dissecting
actually in the
your
lead
father's feelings
at the
as
start
he
of this
neared the end of his
case.
life. But aren't you going against all of his wishes and expectations right now? He wished for you to become more rational, collected, and conscientious, instead of dwelling only on your own feelings. Once you've learned to be more considerate of others' feelings, and to stop rushing headlong into things, you'd have met most of his expectations.
The thing is,
This
he
isn't
didn't
just
want to
about me,
force her down
and
any
it never
path.
has been.
Again, this was all about giving her a
The
choice of
biggest
what she
difference
wants to
between
be.
me and the rest of the victims is that I still have the ability to search for the truth, while that same agency has long been taken from them. The people whose families were destroyed by synth abuse, the people who lost their loved ones to the serial disappearances, and the people who suffered tragic ends due to their sense of justice. Many people's images are flashing before my eyes. I'm sure some are coming to those of you in the audience as well.
But this is not an
Whose
argument.
image do you see, Marcel?
This is not an
Is it a
argument,
man named
Navia.
Vacher?
Huh.
Oh, so you do know that name.
I'm merely surprised you'd suddenly say the name of someone I've never even heard of.
Oh,
I
really?
was waiting for you to say that.
A little while earlier at the entrance of the synth production base. Okay, we're flashing back to main character time. Hooray! I guess we already entered. There we go. Must be annoying to go through here constantly with everything being slanted. I can change my party setup. Huh. No need, I got this. Whoa. Again, one nice thing is when you enter a new nation and then you see what the new domains look like. Because the domains are also always so distinctive between the different nations. Alright. What do you do?
Whoa, the floor is going up.
Elevator time. How nice.
Is it because of this mechanism in the middle? That guy really prepared a lot of stuff for this place.
I mean, again, if it's a factory that produces a shit ton of materials, and having a big elevator would be useful. Although... okay, I didn't think it would go back down right away. It does seem a little bit counterproductive to have stairs. Like, they should have made this a ramp. For transportation purposes. Oh well. Just gonna have a look around. Oh wow, this area looks empty. I feel like they didn't intend for me to go over here. They really just were like, yeah, you see this far? We don't need any extra decoration here. It's fine. Ooh. Even have like a little aquarium, essentially. Nice, nice, nice.
We need to go up, but Paimon doesn't see a way.
We'll find a way.
Look around. Maybe we'll find a hidden mechanism that'll show us the way up.
You mean the one that's indicated there quite clearly? That could be the one. There's also a door. Does it lead anywhere? Oh, there's some kind of mechanism on the other side. Okay, let's see what we have here. Can I break that? No. I guess I must grab an ability of some sort. You? Will you allow me to break that? Yes. Before I go that way, let me have another quick look around, just making sure I'm not missing anything. Okay, good. Let's go. Again, this whole underwater stuff, it looks so nice as well. And it controls pretty nicely too. Oh. Ah, just raise the water level, okay. Let's see how much of a help that's gonna be.
It's rising. Now we can swim to the top. But this is still a ways away from where we need to go.
We'll get there, Paimon. Don't you worry. Interesting, there's another... Didn't even notice that the door was up here too. Can I climb this? Right, you can't really climb anything in a domain. Alright, but I can get up here, right? Yeah. Great, more things to kill. Let's go.
Gather. Oh, it's revealed. Fine, go. Yeah.
And there we go. Oh, wait, they spawned some backup. Not like that matters. Because they gon' be dead. Now give me that chest. Next mechanism. Raise the water level even higher, I imagine? Yes. That's what you like to see.
Now the path is clear. Let's go.
Again, why is this so nice? Like, all of this I wouldn't have expected to... Like, I wouldn't have expected this kind of stuff in Genshin when I first started playing. And just... Again, they made the underwater controls work so nicely. Imagine that! A 3D game that makes water levels work! Without the controls being super tedious and annoying. How did they do it? Genshin Water Dungeon when? Do they separate again? Or do they stay together? I'm gonna assume they stay together, let's go. Ah, okay. Got some big boys. Hi. Of course you're not gonna let me pass.
By royal decree.
Imagine if they just let me pass unless I attack them. And there goes the first one. Oh, and they also have backup. Okay. They got more guard dogs. Well, guess I'll kill the dogs first. Although that gun is kind of annoying. Why not use the meteor? That is a valid point, but at this point it's a bit late. Ha! Fell off L+ ratio. Again, I have a habit of not using my bursts nearly as much as I should. I don't know why I have that habit, but I do have that habit.
After all that, we finally made it to the innermost sanctum. Though, as expected, the mastermind isn't here.
If I'm not mistaken, he's being charged by Navia as we speak.
That's right. Then let's hurry up and find some evidence so we can get back to the Opera House and help Navia.
Alright. Let's see what we can find. Examine miscellaneous objects.
What's all this? Aw, it's a bunch of really cute things. Pink accessories, a hair tie, a necklace, even a makeup box.
Possibly things from the victims of the disappearance cases. There's a name too.
Oh, Paimon sees it too, but
yeah.
why are all these cute things labeled with different
They
girls'
probably
names?
belong to the victims.
Huh? You mean the girls from the serial disappearances? They were brought here?
They could make the people disappear, but everything they had on them would still be evidence, so they had to get rid of it.
These names. That means... Oh, this is terrible.
Yeah. The missing person's possessions. Out objects. That's not the HQ. The names here must have something to do. This might be proof that this was their final stop. Examine bookshelf.
Let's see what's written here. Nothing escapes Detective Paimon's eyes.
Paimon, you're the assistant, if anything.
Callus. Navia's father. Oh, this seems to be an investigation report on him.
It's probably related to his and Jacques' case. Hit real Paimon as the detective.
Lack of confidence that Jacques himself would go through with it.
So we're saying she big-brained everything. Paimon is the main character. True, totally. You know what? That would explain why we see more of Paimon than we see of the main character, you know? Considering I don't really play as the main character. So how are everyone's ears after that one? Has everyone had their eardrums successfully blown out? Great, then let us move on. Is there anything else?
We still have not determined the exact content of the key information Callus has passed on to certain members of his organization. The old dog's a real menace to deal with. Even if he abides by the promise he's made to us, he will still have the upper hand. He can act whenever he wants to make our lives miserable. The only option left is to remove him from the picture entirely.
And that's when they tried the assassination thingy.
Someone to kill him. He won't declare war as long as we don't touch Navia. Oh, seems like we've got a bunch of correspondence between the higher-ups.
They planned this well in advance.
They're all just so evil.
Alright. Clues concerning Callus's case were found inside the bookshelf. Mastermind did not believe that Jacques would do the deed and thus send a third party to ensure Callus's death. Yes. Oh boy. A pool, huh? Is this the primordial water? Is this where they get it from?
There's an important looking basin over here, and it's full of water.
This must be the water from the primordial sea.
That means this is where they make all the synth. And that special water is the main ingredient.
Again, the entrance to this place seems a little bit stupid because they have to climb a cliff to get out of here. And then drain an entire room of water.
We'll take notes on this incriminating evidence.
But what do I know? What do I know? HQ is filled with water from the primordial sea. Mastermind can use it to create synth, then directly use it to dissolve people. No, invisible walls! Why must you be there? Fine, let's examine the experiment table.
What's this over here? Looks like some kind of place for research. Experiment number 16 aims to verify Jacob Ingold's research conclusions on the primordial sea and use his theory as a foundation to achieve a breakthrough. The experiment was a failure. No individual managed to resurface from the water from the primordial sea. Female specimens 22, 23, and 24 were dissolved.
Paimon, shut the fuck up. We knew that people were getting dissolved, okay? This is nothing new. So calm the fuck down.
Sorry, Traveler. Paimon will try her best. It's just that Paimon's never read something so scary before. How could someone write something that terrible in such a matter-of-fact tone?
Well, clearly they didn't consider it to be as terrible. They felt it was justified for some reason. The goal of the researcher is to save his lover, a woman called who was dissolved. Perhaps this researcher...
So that's why he did all of these experiments. Wait, did he really think he'd be able to find a way just by dissolving people over and over? That's just insane!
Has a name here, yep, there it is. There it is. Certain people don't appreciate your presence. Excuse me, can we go back to Shinigami now?
Huh? Isn't that the name you heard by the fountain? Paimon thought he was an eyewitness in the serial disappearances case.
He is the researcher.
You mean Vache is the one who did all of these... experiments?
signed off on a bunch of the experiment reports. The voice I heard from was probably her, yeah.
So that's it. Vacher was no victim, but personally took his lover and... No, that's not it either.
I think, no, this is all about research.
Why would he want people to resurface from the water?
I think he saw what happened to his lover. And in order to understand this process, and if there's a possibility of bringing people back, he has to run experiments, which means dissolving more people. There must be more to this than meets the eye.
In any case, Paimon will write it all down.
Let's see, names to verify. Breakthrough, yeah. Many more records like these. And there's bottles. They bottled it all up.
Whoa. There's so much synth here. And so many bottles of ingredients that probably just contain the waters of the primordial sea.
There are so many.
Mixing in progress. Ready to drink? Stock sample? Huh. They've also got all the synth pretty clearly labeled. Whoa, there's even fruit-flavored synth?
Damn, well that definitely proves that this is where they produce synth.
Yep, it's super obvious.
Synth. Producer uses these, yeah. Alright. Anything else?
Looked at
No.
almost everything here, and it seems like our theories were spot on. But
Who really is this Vacher?
yeah, we haven't found anything that reveals his true identity. No wonder even Nervalette wasn't able to find anything. Whoever it is probably destroyed everything to do with that name a long time ago.
Idea. What if, purely theoretical, Vacher and Marcel are the same person? And the reason that they think that Marcel only arrived recently is because this person only recently adopted the identity of Marcel. But recently, I mean however long ago it happened. So initially he was doing stuff as Vacher, but then he changed his identity eventually and adopted the identity of Marcel. And that would have already been partway through when while after the serial disappearance case started. So a few people would have already disappeared by the time quote-unquote Marcel arrived. That is my current working theory. That would explain how nobody knows anything about this person, and it would explain how Marcel could be the one in charge, despite only arriving here later, supposedly.
That way, even if we bring all this back to the opera, we won't be able to identify the true culprit.
Clever, but maybe not clever enough. Let's look again.
Sure thing. Paimon won't admit defeat to this guy either.
Let's see how spot on my theory is gonna be. Alright, look for clues about Vacher. I guess we'll go back to the bookshelf. Investigation reports are also a lot of research materials here. Seems like experiments have been going for a very long time, but there's nothing here on Vacher's true identity. The pond wouldn't have anything either, but let's double check. A pool full of water of the primordial sea. Countless sins were born of it. Nothing else here seems to be particularly noteworthy. Let's check this stuff again. Oh?
You take that side and Paimon will take this side. Check everything carefully. We'll find something for sure.
After some time...
Nothing at all. And Paimon can't even find snacks either.
You're not supposed to be looking for snacks right now, Paimon. Paimon, I found it.
Whoa, really? Let Paimon see. Vinier. Isn't that Vacher's lover's name?
It would seem so.
Then you found her diary. Let's see. Aw, it's just just a normal diary chronicling their love story. She was so sweet, too. Oh, Paimon feels even worse for her now.
This page, she made a list of baby names? Oh god. Please don't tell me. Please don't tell me this person is targeting people based on their name. Like, he looks at this list of baby names and he's like, yeah, the next target I'm going for must have this name. Is that their modus operandi here?
So many! A whole page's worth! But they're all crossed out. Was she unhappy with all of them? The final name she decided on was... Marcel. Wait, but... Marcel's pretty old.
So my theory is correct then!
Going on for so long,
Like, not what I just said, but my theory before that I mentioned before that. No, not grown son. Adopted identity. Told you Marcel's name was fake and they were the same person. Boom! Mic drop. Who's the detective now, Paimon? I figured it out.
Hey! Paimon still hasn't figured it out yet.
Ha! Stupid. Yep. After obtaining the final piece of key evidence, you race back to the Opera Epiclase. Yes, it's all coming together.
Image do you see, Marcel? Is it a man named Vacher? Oh, so you do know that name.
I'm merely surprised you'd suddenly say the name of someone I've never even heard of.
I was waiting for you to say that.
Navia! We're back!
Hello, sorry for interrupting.
Unexpected of my partner. I just knew you'd return in the nick of time.
That man is Vacher.
The rules of this court.
It's all right, Monsieur Nervalette. Given their confidence, I expect they've found the crucial evidence.
That we have. You say you've never heard of Vacher. Then what about this notebook?
But the truth of it, Marcel, is that you've always been Vacher.
Yes, main character voice lines. Let's go. Also dramatic finger point.
We've investigated your lair and we already know everything. After your lover, Venier, was dissolved, you kept abducting young women to experiment on the hopes of bringing her back to you. You even created Marcel as a new identity and destroyed all records of your past as Vacher.
So that's it. Even the villains in opera performances rarely go that far.
Oh.
And with that, Marcel's motive has now been established.
This information regarding your past also dismantles your prior timing defense.
Yup, what I said.
Marcel, do you know where you went wrong? You fixated your gaze on the lover that passed away, instead of paying attention to the living people around you. So, you never noticed how we changed, or how we grew as individuals.
You also never understood Boss's real expectations for his daughter.
Or our determination to see things through.
We got him.
Determination.
Yes.
Mr. Marcel,
What's so funny,
please
Marcel?
speak up now if you would like to defend yourself. Otherwise, the trial will move on to the next stage.
Do you really think I wanted to do any of this?
Oh, that's admission of guilt.
Pay attention to you. What for?
He admits it.
Have you
He's
ever
not
paid
defending
attention to
himself.
me? Ever empathize with my pain? Ever known how it feels to watch the love of your life dissolve right in
That's it. We got him. He just flat out admitted it.
No one helped me. No one even believed me. All those decades ago, even the officers from the Maison Gardiennage were laughing at me. They said there's no way a human being can turn into water. So I must have gone mad from grief. Vinier's death was brushed away by all of you as if it didn't matter at all.
I mean, it is a tragic tale, but you still committed mass murder,
know,
essentially.
Don't you? Ha! Well, it's too late now. All those who were dissolved are gone forever. You only have yourselves to blame. You set up this ornate opera house in pursuit of your so-called justice, your beloved drama, while turning a blind eye to the suffering of the people. Vignere is dead. We promised each other that we would
I mean, we talked to her.
Wherever she goes, I will follow.
Oh, so he's gonna dissolve
I'm
himself
not from
now.
This blasted place, so I can't be dissolved.
All right.
No matter what I do.
So he wasn't lying about not being from here. He wasn't lying about that.
Is that water from the primordial sea that he's drinking?
I can't dissolve. Can't dissolve. Can't dissolve. Do you all see? I can't go. I can't follow. So if I can't go where she is, what choice do I have but to try to bring her back? I did all of that, and in the end, that
He insane, yeah.
callous still got
Again,
the
this
better
is
of
case
me.
closed. We already confirmed the culprit
Entire
now.
life living on pins and needles, only to get stabbed by his idiot daughter at the very end.
The suspect is exhibiting signs of mental distress. Guards, please restrain him.
Ah, it took a
Don't
moment.
touch me. Don't anybody come near me. I still need to save Vignere. I promise. We made a promise.
I can arrest him in case anyone's scared about getting dissolved, because I can't get dissolved.
Please, Vignere. Don't think badly of me. All I want to do is fulfill.
Makes sense that she said he should give up
At this
looking
point,
for
the
her.
verdict of this trial is clear. With Mr. Marcel's conviction, the charges against Mr. Tartaglia no longer have any basis.
Fine by me. I was in a bad mood, but after a show like that, I'm actually feeling pretty good.
Of course you are.
Traveler,
You still want to
please
do it
submit
though,
all the
right?
evidence you have collected to the guards, so that I might review and summarize the truth behind the serial disappearances case.
Novelet proceeds to review and compile all evidence and
the man now known
records.
as Marcel was originally named Vacher and worked as an adventurer with his partner and lover Vignere. During an underwater expedition, Vignere accidentally came into contact with water from the primordial sea and was dissolved in front of Vacher as a result. Vacher learned of the primordial water's existence through the work of others and began to kidnap young women for research, with the goal of discovering a method to restore Vignere back to life. To cover his tracks, he invented the new alias of Marcel and began to operate a business in Poisson. During the course of his research, Vacher discovered that a diluted concoction of water from the primordial sea can induce feelings of euphoria, and began to manufacture and market synth. However,
And that's
as
how he stayed in
accumulated
business
wealth
and
to fund
financed his
continued
research.
and expanded the scope, he came into conflict with Spina di Rosula. After exchanging blows with Spina di Rosula for many years, Vacher decided to assassinate their president Callus at a banquet. Although the assassination did not go as Vacher expected, he was able to turn Callus into the murder suspect by dissolving the assassin he sent to the scene. And just recently, Vacher attempted to frame Lyney as the culprit of the serial disappearances case, using a similar method. However, his attempt to frame Lyney failed,
And then he
power of
tried to
water
frame
from the
another
primordial sea
Fatui.
became public knowledge. This case also exposed enough of Vacher's machinations that he was eventually successfully charged in court. Thus concludes the enigmatic history of the serial disappearances case, with the truth revealed to all.
There we go. The moment I arrive, of course, I clear up something that's been going on for who knows how long.
Against Mr. Vacher. According to the judgment of the Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse Cardinale,
He
Mr.
should be
Vacher
guilty, but let me
is
guess it's actually gonna say not.
guilty.
Ah, okay, good. Imagine if it malfunctioned or something.
Guards, take Vacher away.
Could also be a wish animation. You are absolutely
It's
correct.
what he deserves.
Absolutely correct.
That, the serial disappearances case is over now.
We really just witnessed history. Who would have thought the true culprit would be such a polite and well-spoken guy?
Yippee! We helped Navia bring the bad guy to justice!
We sure did.
So many
Was
innocent
easy.
people, and now he's finally getting what he deserves. Huh? Are you okay?
Navia. I mean, they still were pretty close, weren't they?
Demoiselle, you were absolutely brilliant.
The day our late boss had always hoped for has finally come. You can rest easy now, knowing justice has been served.
Yeah. It's finally over. It's all thanks to you guys. And my partner.
I am the partner. And I have
Spina
another
Dirosula's
assistant.
Still doing well with me at the helm.
Well now, hasn't this been a most delicious piece of drama? The villain has been caught, justice has been served, past wrongs have been righted, and it's a big ol' happy ending.
So,
Since it's
child.
been such a great show, I'll just let the false accusations against me slide.
He still wants to
Either
duel
way,
though, right?
I've still got some business to attend to.
No,
So,
he's got...
if
Okay, I
you'll
guess he's got somewhere to
excuse
be.
me.
Please wait just one moment, Mr. Tartaglia.
Ugh, what now? None of this has anything to do with me.
According to court protocol, since this trial was initiated due to a charge against you, a verdict must also be made regarding the initial charge before the trial can conclude.
Alright.
Oh, come on. Is this really necessary? Haven't you already caught the real criminal? Isn't it time for side characters like me to exit stage left?
Please respect the laws of Fontaine. This has always been the rule.
Alright, go back up there so we can
Alright,
call you not
alright,
guilty
but this
real
sure
quick.
is a lot of hassle. All I need to do is stand over there, right? Let's just get this over with.
Through evidence presented in the public trial that was just held, it has been established that Mr. Tartaglia has no direct connection to the serial disappearances case.
Yes.
The guilty party has been identified, and thus it is logical to suppose Mr. Tartaglia is innocent of the charges. We now turn to the Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse Cardinale to render the final verdict on the charges.
Yay, we get to see the animation again. Or not?
According to the judgment of the Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse Cardinale, Mr. Tartaglia is guilty.
What?
What?
Okay, so they didn't do a plot
Hey,
twist on the
hey,
first one, but on the
that's not
second
funny.
time.
Didn't you just say I'm supposed to be innocent? What's with this verdict? Is your justice machine malfunctioning?
Huh? This has never happened before. The
Yeah.
Oratrice actually
That is,
returned a different verdict from
that
the
is a
Chief
nanny
Justice.
indeed.
I mean, have you ever heard of an innocent Fatui Harbinger? Do you think the Oratrice might have just convicted him on general principle?
Yeah, but he's not
But weren't
guilty
the
of this
charges about the
crime.
serial disappearances case? No matter what else he's guilty of, it shouldn't affect the verdict in this case, right?
Exactly. Again, that reminds me. There is still that one thing that we didn't really clear up, which was that when Lyney was going to the core, he heard a voice in the core room. So there's definitely at least one person who has access, who has been to the core room before and could have messed with it. And I think we still have not addressed that point. We do still have his vision as well. But yeah, maybe someone did somehow mess with the core. Just what is going on
The
here?
judgment of the Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse Cardinale is, by law, the final verdict of the court.
So we're saying both are
You
guilty?
must accept the guilty verdict. Guards, please take the suspect into custody per court protocol.
Oh, cutscene? This is where he's gonna start to duel. Oh, I saw the
This
electricity.
is how justice is done in Fontaine.
He's gonna use his
What a
delusion.
joke.
He's gonna use his delusion.
You've got your rules. Well, I've got mine too!
Yep, there he goes. At least the audience is getting a good show out of this one. Transformation. Let's go, child! Yep. Oh. Oh shit.
I am sorry. If you have been wronged, we will find the truth.
Damn.
The rules of the court.
He know how to move. He just knocked out Child in one hit. Was not expecting that. Oh, but he... Okay, he didn't come away from it without a scratch, but still. Knocking out Child in one hit is... Wow, okay.
Monsieur Novelette, what's going on? Shouldn't they have been cleared already?
Yeah, something does feel off
This is
here.
also the first time I've encountered such a situation. However, according to the rules established at the conception of Fontaine's court system, the Oratrice's judgment is the final verdict of the court. All I do is follow court procedure. As for why the Oratrice arrived at the conclusion it did, you should probably ask someone more knowledgeable than me.
Even the Chief Justice doesn't know. Then we have no choice but to ask the Hydra Archon herself. I mean, come on, we wanted to talk to the Archon anyway. Just one more reason. Why will at any time he does seem pretty strong from what we just saw. Again, knocking out Child in a single attack.
Why are you looking at me? I had nothing to do with it.
Imagine you have to fight him perfectly if he's an opponent. If you get hit once, you die instantly.
What does Lady Farina mean by that?
If he as much as scratches you, you're dead.
She says she has no idea either, but that's impossible. Didn't she create the Oratrice herself?
Yeah, so are the verdicts reliable or not? Can results like this really be called justice?
Again, someone could have messed with the core.
My dearest citizens, did you really think we'd allow an incorrect verdict to be handed out in this court? Did you really believe that the judgment could be mistaken or be the result of some sort of random mishap? Don't tell me you thought even I had been blindsided by the Oratrice's result.
But the way she looked just now, it was pretty obvious she had no idea.
Again, can we just say that we have the assumption someone messed with the core?
Given the state of things, I shall give you an
We know you can
explanation.
access the core
Everything that
by just going through the
took place,
vents.
including my
And we know there was someone in there.
bafflement, was a part of an elaborate performance, with every action meant to stir up drama and excitement. And, of course, for every performance, there is a script. Everything has unfolded exactly as I expected from the very beginning.
Oh, really
As
now?
the embodiment of
Special
the very
water,
concept
yes.
of justice, the Oratrice shall never render an arbitrary judgment. If you thought Child had nothing to do with the serial disappearances case, it is only because you've been blinded.
So how
by
are
the
you saying he is
superficial
connected to it
appearance of
then?
innocence. Everything he's done, not to mention the danger he poses, are beyond ordinary comprehension and completely unforgivable. All shall be revealed in time. You will
Sure it
come
will
to
be.
understand my noble intentions, as well as the absolute correctness of the Oratrice's verdict.
Yeah, sure it was correct, sure. Surely nobody could have messed with the core.
Now, having said that, although I hate to leave things hanging in suspense, it is now time for this performance to end. As the lead actress, I shall be the first
Anything
to
except
take
one
my leave.
thing.
Toodaloo!
Yep.
So she chose to
Primordial
make her
water.
escape after all, did she?
So you're saying we shouldn't put much stock into what she just said?
I mean, that much would be obvious.
She probably just put on that performance to save face. As for the truth, it's unlikely that she actually has any idea.
I mean, yeah, he doesn't have his vision. He does still, again, have his delusion. But he shouldn't rely on that unless he wants to die sooner. Way to pull the rug out from under her.
However, please be assured that I will continue to investigate this case in a personal capacity. Just as I promised, if the judgment has been incorrect, we will do our utmost to clear his name.
Alright. Even though we feel pretty badly for him, we'll take your word for it for now. After all, he's done plenty of bad stuff.
That much is true.
So he should have known he'd go to prison someday, right?
I mean, yeah. Do you want a recap of all the stuff he's done? There's a viewpoint up there, interestingly enough. I saw that earlier. I guess I can go up the stairs from out here. Traded for noses. Ha!
Hey, what are you doing? Quick, stop him!
Yeah, sure, give him a noses, why not?
Traveler! Hey! Traveler!
What is it? Marcel.
What are you doing over
Or
here?
should I call you Vache?
Stop resisting arrest! Cease, or we'll add another charge to the list.
No, wait! I just want to ask the Traveler something. I'm not looking to run away. Please, please!
Is it about the
this
voice
one
I
small
heard?
thing.
Perhaps?
Go on.
Thank you. Thank you. I was being led away when I finally realized something. Where did you first hear the name Vache?
Ha! Well, the funny thing about that
I
is...
erased all records of that name.
Your significant
So,
other may or may not have mentioned it.
Are you still trying to prove your innocence? Give it up. You've already been convicted.
I have met her.
Really? You did? You're sure? You met her? But how could that be? How did you manage to do it?
It was around the Fountain of Lucine. Something to do with my sensitivity to the hydro element.
The Fountain of Lucine? Then she's been so close to me all along. And I just never... Please give me a chance to talk to her again. Just let the Traveler take me to the fountain to see her one last time.
Can we keep the guards on the scene just in case?
In my life. You can do whatever you want to me afterwards. I don't care.
What? Give an inch and you want to take a mile? Do you think serial killers get to make requests like that?
Paimon agrees. Why should we give him what he wants when he's only done a ton of super terrible things?
This
That much
request,
is true.
Is it worth as much to you as your life?
Of course! Wait, no. It's worth even more than my life.
Humans. Will they betray the instinct to live just to satisfy spiritual needs?
Humans, you say? Is Nivelette not a human?
Very well. I will grant your request.
Was that alluding to something?
Your Honor, I fear that...
I will go with him. You do not need to worry about any
Curious. Very curious indeed.
In that case, I shall leave him in your most capable hands, Chief Justice.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Alrighty then, let's go. After I've checked that viewpoint, because now I really just want to grab it. It bothered me when I saw it earlier. Just a few steps in here. Thank you. Alright, and now we're leaving. The fountain is right outside. I don't think there's any reason to teleport this time. Alright. Let's go. There it is.
Is this the place? You said she's here, but what do I need to do to see her?
Back then I drank water from the primordial sea. It heightened my sense of the hydro element. Yeah, I drank water.
And even Paimon could hear her after drinking that thing. Didn't you just drink a lot of it on the stage as well? Oh, in that case...
Maybe.
Vache.
And there it is, just as the World Join request comes in. Well, ain't that interesting?
That's it. So you heard it too!
Lyney, it's me! It's me, Vache!
Vache? Vache.
I'm here! I'm here! Where are you, Vignier? I'm coming for you. I'm finally
Imagine he
here for
drowns
you.
himself in there now.
Be careful! Hey, wait!
Drown yourself in the fountain, why don't you?
Vignier, is that you? It's me, Vacher! Vignier!
Vacher, why did you come? Didn't I say? You don't need to look for me. You look a lot older than I remember.
It's been long and he's become like a serial killer, so, you know, stuff happened.
It's been more than 20 years. I've suffered for over 20 years since the day you left. All this time, only the thought of bringing you back has kept me alive. Nothing else mattered to me.
Ah, a bit of a yikes there, pal. That did not work out too well for you.
Who would have thought I'd get the chance to tell you all of my feelings like this? Vignier, you are my everything. I really don't know how I could live without you.
But Vacher, if you ask me, this world would be better off without you.
Yeah, it would be better off without a serial killer.
What are you saying?
If not for you, I would have finished my law degree and probably become a top-tier attorney one day.
Oh wow, calling him out now.
If not for you, I would have continued to pursue my love of the arts, and my works would have been
Oh, let me guess, it's like a mix of the emotions of all the people who were dissolved. Is that it?
Not for you, I would at least have been able to take care of my mother.
Is that
And
it?
she would not have grown old and died alone, with nothing but the tears on her cheeks. It's all because of your selfishness, Vacher. It's all because of you.
Damn, there's a lot of hatred there.
Wait, you are not Vignier.
It is all of them. It is all of them mixed into one.
You're right. I am not Vignier. I am the sacrifices. Every woman who died by your hand, as our bodies dissolved, our consciousnesses flowed back to the primordial sea. Our thoughts circulated endlessly within the primordial sea, and we were no longer individuals.
Yeah.
We became one.
Your love is in there somewhere, but
Come together.
I don't know about that one.
I'm Cressy. I'm Lemony. I'm Azine. The only one I am not.
Oh, I guess she isn't in there at all.
Why? But then, where is Vignier?
She doesn't want to see you anymore. Every tendril of her
Ah.
consciousness is avoiding you.
So she does still exist in the collective, but
your
just...
selfishness.
Okay.
Your selfishness robbed us of our lives and our futures. You said time and time again that you'd do any and everything for her. But did you ever consider whether she'd want to see you do the things that you did? If she would despise you for what you became?
Perhaps. Ask yourself the question, would the love of your life want you to become a serial killer?
You are a liar, a heartless murderer, and a cowardly narcissist. The only thing you are not is Vignier's beloved. From the moment your first victim died and her consciousness merged with Vignier's, she has had nothing but pure hatred for you.
Damn. Bro got called out. Oh, I'm in here too. It looks like I didn't meet Vignier back then either. They must have wanted me to lure Marcel here from the very beginning.
No. Yeah. She can't hate me. Let me see her. Please. Have mercy.
You still don't understand. When I said don't look for me, that came from the real Vignier. She really doesn't want to see you anymore. But on top of that...
I mean, can you blame her?
she also
Again,
said that
serial
because
killer.
It's her final drop of pity for you. She said that because she knew that if you did come here, we will show no mercy to you.
Well, you gon' die.
Vache! 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 Drown.
10 out of 10 horror movie. You're just gonna drown in the fountain. I mean, I said that he would. Later, the guards find that the culprit, in case Marcel, appeared to have lost his soul. However, the... Thanks for letting me read that! Several days later. I still hate it when the game does that. Why is that a thing? Why does the game adamantly refuse to let you read stuff?
Finally, we have some time to do shopping.
Out of mental something.
Gosh, it's really been a long time since we've been able to relax.
Again, who had the genius idea? Maybe the devs are like, the people who play this game don't care about the story anyway. Let's just skip all the text for them so they don't even have to worry about it anymore. Because nobody wants to read that stuff that we put in there. My legs are killing me.
Huh. Well met, partner. I knew something great was going to happen when I woke up in such a good mood today.
Even this weather can't put a damper on the demoiselle's mood.
It's a pleasure to see you both again.
Why, hello, Silver.
Oh, hey, Navia! It's been a few days. Paimon's already started to miss you.
What were we doing in
Now
these past
that
few
I
days?
believe.
Just sightseeing?
I'm easy to work with and always bring home the bacon. Who wouldn't treasure having a partner like me?
Sounds like you're really enjoying life these days, Navia. What have you been busy with since the trial?
It's just been one thing after the other. I've been making non-stop trips between Poisson and the courts in Seine.
Oh, are you getting hired as an
Everyone
attorney
from
more
Spina di
frequently
Rosula
now,
organized
perhaps?
a memorial for my father. We never held a memorial when he first died, since everyone knew that even if we held one back then, no one was going to come.
But now
This
things are
time, though,
different, of course.
Everyone in Poisson, and even many people from the court, all attended.
So his name's definitely been cleared now. That's what we like to hear.
That is progress.
It's been the dearest wish of Demoiselle all along.
That blasted stubborn fool.
Like, of her
I was right to
assistants.
put my faith
It
in
is a
him.
fair guess. I was
I'm
worried
so
about
glad
that
I
as
didn't
well.
Give up on the case all those years ago.
I was worried about that one as well. Things have turned out as well as they could have.
Oh, by the way, I ran into Charlotte just after I left the memorial service. Well, maybe it'd be more accurate to say I knew she would be there, and there was no way she'd just let me go.
Huh? So you know Charlotte too? The Charlotte? Journalist from the Steam?
Haven't seen her since we arrived.
Yeah, way back when I first became the president of the Spina di Rosula, she was all over me. Wouldn't take no for an answer. I believe the story was called The True Heart of Darkness, Secret Tales of the Yellow Rose. To be fair, though, it was a really flattering feature. So, we've been on pretty good terms ever since. She was trying to lean on our friendship to get me to do an exclusive piece on the serial disappearances case.
And?
Oh yeah, she told us about
Did
that.
you?
She's
Did
always
you
been
accept the
super
interview?
interested in that case, so now her wish has finally come true too.
Anyway, I told her to make sure that when she writes about you guys entering the opera house with the critical evidence, that you both sound really cool.
Of course, of course.
Now that's another thing to look forward to. We trust Charlotte's skills with a pen for sure.
Oh, and in other news, I also took Clarand out for a meal.
Oh, are you two on better terms now?
While you were investigating Vache's headquarters, Clarand gave testimony on my father's behalf.
That he intended to die.
It was thanks to her that we were able to turn the tide. I wanted to thank her. I mean, there's also no point in being awkward all the time. So we took the chance to reconcile with each other.
There we go.
Oh, that's great. Paimon also thought Clarand wasn't actually a bad person. It's always good to have more friends.
Anyway, now that the case has finally been solved, perhaps it will slowly begin to fade from the public consciousness. Actually, there's still one last thing I need to do.
Oh?
What is it?
enter the mystery labyrinth to make sure it
I should pay a
collapses.
visit to my father's
Oh
grave
wait, wrong game.
and tell him the truth of what happened, as well as how it all ended. And on top of that, just how much people still look up to him to this day.
Kill you? Ah.
That includes me, too.
Yes, that is another thing that must be done.
Indeed.
Can I come too?
We want to go too. We also think Callus is a really admirable person.
Sure thing. I'd like you two to share the moment with me. After all, without you, there might not have been such a positive ending.
And in that case, everyone, let's be off. Considering the recent weather, we'll be lucky if we can reach Poisson before dark.
Alright.
Yeah,
Are you gonna take me along, or do I have
It's
to
been
go there
raining
manually?
nonstop for a few days now.
Seems like they're gonna teleport me along, which is nice. I appreciate that. Saves me the trouble of walking.
This is where my father's grave is. To be perfectly honest,
Labyrinth already
even I
crumbled.
haven't been back
Fair.
here
Yeah,
for
he is dead.
a long time.
Huh? There's someone there already. Wait. That figure. It can't be.
Is it a ghost? No, it's over that.
Why
Okay.
would the Chief Justice be here? Huh?
Maybe apologizing for the outcome of the... Well, there wasn't even a trial. Because again, he was just like, I'm gonna duel.
My apologies. I should have asked before coming to pay my respects.
Don't say that.
Sorry about that.
Oh, I was trying to say there's no need for you to apologize. I wanted to show my father how much I've grown. But still, I doubt I've grown to the point that even the Chief Justice would feel compelled to apologize to me over and over.
In that case, I will stop apologizing for now.
Fair.
You really could use some pointers on understanding human emotions, Monsieur Neuvillette. In any case, why did you come to Poisson?
Well, ever since that day, I've been turning a question over and over in my head. Just what is justice anyway? There was
Very
once a
interesting
time when I
question
didn't
to
want to believe
ponder.
that there could be anything more important to humans than life
It is
itself.
Mr. Law.
Oh, rather than that, it's probably more truthful to say I didn't believe humans were capable of resisting the most basic instinct of living things. That they could rebel against their own nature, or consider certain things to be more important than their own lives. Which is also why I didn't stop your father from beginning that fateful duel. I believed that a truly innocent man would never throw away his life like that. That there was nothing, should have been nothing more important than one's own continued survival.
And
But
what
Mr.
you
Callis
just saw
proved me
recently.
utterly and decisively wrong.
And then there's the
If
recent
not for
example.
his sacrifice, the serial disappearances case would have remained unsolved to this day. Mr. Callis made the choice he did for his daughter.
Told
for
him
his
not to say
associates,
sorry.
For
Imagine.
many people completely unrelated to him. And in the end, from a certain perspective, one could say that he did it all for the sake of justice. A justice that's higher than life itself. So, you asked me why I came here. I just wanted to say my apologies to Mr. Callis.
I see the
in
statue's light in
person.
the background. I need to grab
I
it.
should have noticed all of this much sooner. This regret has filled me with a sadness that has haunted me for days. That high and mighty chair in the opera Epiclese indeed insulates one from many important things. Spina di Rosula, thank you so much for your hard work and perseverance.
Well, look at you go, Rob.
I'm sorry for being mad at you before. So, you're actually one of those types that's cold on the outside, but pretty thoughtful on the inside, huh?
Ha!
That reminds me of Silver, one of my guys.
Sorry about that. Self-expression is not one of my strong suits.
Yeah, it didn't feel like it, to say the
Just
least.
say you don't need to apologize.
Ah, so Navia and Neuvillette seem to have made their peace as well.
Everyone's making
Let's
peace
not
now.
disturb them for now. We can wait till after they're done.
Following Navia and Neuvillette, you also pay your respects. What I said, yeah.
Paimon's never paid respect
Too many
at someone's grave
apologies.
before. Did Paimon do anything rude there?
Well, you're not usually supposed to fly around someone's grave.
Huh? Oh, Paimon didn't know that was a thing. But Paimon doesn't know what she would do if she can't fly.
You have legs, don't you?
I hope Miss Navia won't be too mad.
Wow, she took it seriously. That smug face. Man, how long has it been since we've seen smug Ether like that?
Anyway, Nervalette is still standing around there. It's not often that we can catch him alone like this, so why don't we go talk to him for a bit? If we can't talk to Lady Farina, we can at least talk to him, right?
Alright, let's see what he has to say on the whole child debacle. Too long. It has been too long.
Oh, it's you two. Did Miss Navi
What?
invite you to come pay your respects?
Speaking of Ether, hello Ether main. Thank you for the follow and welcome.
Just followed her here.
I see, I see. Then is there something that I can help you with?
Sadly, I don't main Ether. I do think we need more Ether voice lines.
It's pretty hard to run into you like this.
In fact, I'm pretty glad with this chapter because we got so many unexpected Ether voice lines this time.
Questions, if that's okay.
Please feel free. Though outsiders, you helped us solve one of the greatest mysteries in Fontaine.
That we did.
And it would be my pleasure to return the favor.
Still glad that I have been doing so much detective work before that I know what to do. Ah, okay, this is where we ask the questions, okay. About the water from the primordial sea. Let's just go down the list, I guess.
So, at court, the bad guys referred to that special water as water from the primordial sea. But what is it really?
It's the new Archon Quest?
Truthfully, that
It
name
is the
already
new
quite
Archon
accurate.
Quest, yes.
I can only surmise
We are in
that Vacher
Fontaine
and his
currently.
ilk only learned of its nature and existence after extensive research.
It's a detective game,
There used to
essentially,
be
the
a
new
special
story
sea
section.
on the surface of this planet.
That's what I'll
the
say.
nature of its seawater was rather different from that of the sea we know today. Most of Tevat's life forms were first born in that special sea. You could say it nurtured much of the life on this planet.
Huh. So it really was where everything began.
Yep.
It makes sense to call it primordial then.
But today, the primordial sea no longer exists on the planet's surface. What Vacher discovered must have been some kind of special case, or a remnant from a truly ancient age.
Interesting.
So that's how it is.
I wonder what else that
really
water
know
is capable of.
Monsieur Nervalette. But if that's the case, then why would people, at least people from Fontaine,
Yeah.
dissolve in that kind of water?
Why them specifically?
Indeed. Why would the primordial sea, which was known to engender and nurture life, suddenly reverse itself and devour life instead? To be frank, that also doesn't match my understanding of this world and its laws. There must still be some unknown secrets around the people of this land. Is there anything else you'd like to ask me about?
Yes, absolutely. Show me your map. Wait a second, let me go through all of this first. About the prophecy that has been circulating around Fontaine.
That the sea levels will rise and everyone will be dissolved in water.
Dissolved in
leaving
water?
Farina
Ain't
crying
that an
alone on her
interesting
throne,
little thing
but the
to
sins of
mention,
the
huh?
people will be finally washed away for good. Does that appropriately summarize the version you've heard?
That's right. It was Lyney that told us back then. And that about covers all the main points.
Yes, up to the present, I think we reached a point where we have no choice but to confront this prophecy directly. Rumors have it that this prophecy is rooted in the last words the former Hydro Archon left to the world before she passed away.
Huh.
A prophecy? Of the former Hydro Archon? Wow. This is the first time that we've ever heard of it.
Two parts of the prophecy have already proven correct. The rising sea levels and the ability of the people of Fontaine to be dissolved.
So
We
if
should
it
be
comes
more
together,
vigilant
then
and
that would
stay
be a
on the watch
problem.
for further signs. Speaking of the prophecy, Farina has also always taken it quite seriously. Indeed, she has been collecting information and intelligence from across Tevat for this purpose.
Huh.
If the rumors were true, then perhaps this prophecy is the conundrum left to Farina by her predecessor.
But with Farina being the way she is, can we really trust to solve it?
No, she's gonna need help.
Is there anything else you'd like to ask me?
Farina's definitely gonna need help. For being the Archon in the Nation of Justice, she really isn't the brightest when it comes to investigations and stuff. Accusing innocent civilians and all that. So let's ask about Child, our favorite
My
harbinger.
apologies. My investigation has still not reached its conclusion. However, I still believe the judgment of the Oratrice was not rendered arbitrarily.
But you also said you thought he was innocent.
For many years, I have been quite aware that the Oratrice does not simply mechanically repeat the verdict that I give on each case.
Oh?
As a divinely created mechanism, the people's unified faith in the concept of justice is integrated into it. Not only can it produce the incredible power of indemnitium, but it likely also possesses other traits, such as self-awareness. Which is all to say, I have been prepared for a situation like this for a long time.
Alright. I mean, don't get me wrong, Tartaglia is a Fatui harbinger.
That he heard a human
So,
voice
you know.
from the room where the Oratrice's core is stored.
So we might be
was not
saying
aware
that
such
there
a
was not
thing
a
had
person in
occurred.
there.
Perhaps that could serve to prove my conjecture. I will add that to the list of items to
So
investigate.
we're saying there might not have been a
any
person
case,
in there, but
I
it
am
might have been the
inclined to believe that
conscience
the
of the
Oratrice
machine.
does have a methodology all its own.
Interesting theory.
Just do not have enough information. Based on Farina's reaction, I doubt even she had any idea what was going on. She managed to bluff her way through it, though, the time-tested twin tricks of bravado and drama. While we do intend to get to the bottom of this,
Again,
now,
Farina and
we
Fischl
regret
definitely
say
need to
that
meet.
The Fatui Harbinger will just have to buy
I
his
wonder
time
how
in
they
the
would
fortress of
interact.
Meropide. If we did incorrectly convict him of crimes he did not commit, we will most certainly compensate him to the fullest extent allowed by the law.
Alright.
Paimon, the only compensation he'll want is a no-holds-barred fight with you.
Especially after he one-shotted
you'd
him.
like to ask me about?
Again, I still can't believe this dude one-shotted Child. How? I mean, don't get me wrong. Child didn't have his vision at the time, but still, foul legacy transformation is nothing to scoff at. I mean, yeah, he was in the middle of the transformation. Maybe that's a little bit of a weak point for Child if you attack him while he's transforming, but still. Anyway, let's ask about our sibling, the thing that we care about the most.
Your sibling? Another blonde-haired traveler? I'm sorry, but I've never seen anyone who matches that description. If she ever stepped foot in Fontaine, I'm sure she followed our laws to the letter, and had no reason to appear on the stage of the opera Epiclese.
Not even as an attorney like me?
Anything else you'd like to ask me about?
That would be everything, right? Yeah. I have no more questions.
Very well. It was my honor to provide you with what answers I could. I very much enjoyed conversing with you. It will soon be time for me to leave this blissful tranquility behind and return to Palais Memornia.
Alright, nice talking to you, I guess.
Monsieur Neuvillette. Paimon thought you only came here to pay your respects today because you had the day off.
Crime and villainy do not have the day off, and so justice must work around the clock as well. This is merely the nature of a justice's work.
Alright, you've got a point.
Alright, so we still got plenty of time, and it feels like we're wrapping up.
The rain has stopped.
I guess we can start with the new story quest, maybe? We'll see. As light rain falls without reason. I'm gonna grab that teleport point. And then Spinne wants to look at my map for some reason. I don't know why. But you shall see that in a second. Here it is. Nothing much. Again, I know there's still that one statue I'm missing. Which I'll get to. I'll get to it. You weren't there before? Weren't where before? Alright, story quests. Lyney, unlock. And claim a new key while I'm at it. Alright, Lyney, the Phantom Thieves' reappearance. Well then. Alright, I will get started on it. But I will likely, after this stream, we will be taking a break from Genshin again for a while, until new content drops. Which means that this quest is one we will stop while we're in the middle of this quest. Let's see just how far we can get. Lyney!
Hey, isn't that sharp?
I see. So you believe that this warning letter was sent by the Phantom Weasel?
Alright, we're gonna
Absolutely.
meet
I've said it
Charlotte
before and
first,
I'll
I
say it again.
guess.
The Phantom Weasel never acts as you expect. He must have faked his own death 10 years ago using a body double. Now that he's back, I'm sure the guards who worked on his case back in the day are in for a headache, but however this turns out in the end, the one thing it won't be is boring.
Intriguing.
Couldn't agree more. As a journalist, I'm gonna get a lot of mileage out of this one. Thank you, sir, for your time. Now, whom should I interview next?
Hello.
Huh? Hey, what a coincidence! Fancy meeting you here.
If you want to interview me about whatever you just talked about, I know nothing.
So, the Phantom Weasel's latest warning letter. What are your thoughts?
Phantom Weasel. What?
Yeah, this is the first time we're hearing of this one. Could you clue us in?
Huh? Oh, sorry. Yes, this case is from a decade ago. I guess you wouldn't know about it.
Yeah, we only just arrived
Well,
here.
not to worry. You're in good hands because I'm a professional. The story goes like this.
Alright, story time.
10 or so years ago, a phantom thief became active in the court of Fontaine. Known only as the Weasel, nobody knew his true identity, and the authorities never managed to catch him.
Uh-huh.
Wow, cool! He sounds like one of those mysterious night burglars that you read about in novels.
So...
Precisely. Well, except the part where they actually have a good reputation.
Yeah,
Our
this one
Weasel
didn't.
Targeted whatever people held dear, and no one was safe from his predations. He would just as soon steal a necklace from a rich merchant's safe as he would a toy doll given to a commoner child for their birthday.
Yikes. Sounds like an absolute weirdo. Yes.
I know. The phantom thieves you read about in novels rob the rich to pay the poor, but this guy did not discriminate. Unsurprisingly, this didn't work wonders for his public reputation.
Oh, you
Every
think?
man and his dog wanted to see him behind bars.
Yeesh. So, did they catch him?
Supposedly they did.
There's a good
Supposedly
chance
he
that the
died,
Weasel would
right?
still
What I
be at
just
large
heard.
to this day, if it hadn't been for an accident 10 years ago. A magician named Caesar fell to his death in a botched high-altitude escape performance.
Oh, we know about
When the police
magicians.
went through his personal effects. They found a hoard of stolen loot and gadgets used for criminal activities. And that was how the Phantom Weasel's identity was revealed to all. Sure enough, thefts in Fontaine went down after Caesar's death. But today, 10 years on, the notorious thief has once again issued one of his warning letters and pasted it on the gate of the Opera Epiclese for all to see. I had to race through the crowd
Intriguing.
this morning to get a photo as soon as I heard. Here, it's this one.
Ah, of course, and did the classic thing of cutting out letters so you can't tell the handwriting.
So, this is the warning letter, huh? Let's see what he wrote. 3 days from now, when evening falls, I shall take from you that which you hold most dear at the Opera House, just as you did to me 10 years ago.
This is, without a doubt, a clear declaration of criminal intent. After years of laying low, the Phantom Weasel is back with a vengeance.
Perhaps
What once
the
seemed
Phantom...
like an open
Perhaps
shut
this
case
is
has been
the...
blown wide open again.
Perhaps the actual
Why
Phantom
has he
Weasel
emerged
did
now?
die, but they
And
had a
once he
love
was,
interest?
I sense an epic scoop.
And they for
And
some
I'm
reason
going
blame the
for it.
death of the original Phantom Weasel on the justice system of this country?
That other people value, does that mean even we might be targeted?
He might steal all your favorite snacks. Oh no. He might try to nab you, little Paimon. Okay, Spinne. Should I be kind enough to say that? Because we're talking about the things most valuable to us. You know what, fine. I'll be kind to Paimon once.
Aww. But Paimon doesn't
There.
want to be kidnapped. Well, he'd have to go through you first. You would stop him, right?
Maybe.
Okay, the people have spoken.
It's clear that the public are very concerned about the Phantom Weasel's reappearance.
Also, is that Lyney up there in the background? If so, yeah, it is him.
Letter, my interview notes. Yep, that should be enough to form the skeleton of my article. It does feel like something is missing, though. Something.
Good reputation. No, they are
Who
good.
should I interview next?
Yeah, the Persona True.
I need someone with a more concrete
The
connection to
Phantom
Weasel.
Thieves
Is that who I think it is?
who steal people's hearts. It's Lyney! How are you doing? You got How is he doing after getting accused of a crime so recently? Looks like he's performing some magic.
Magic. Magician. Caesar! The Phantom Weasel! That's it! Let's go interview Lyney!
Ah, yes, a fellow magician.
You see, the original Phantom Thief Caesar was a magician too! And what do Phantom Thieves and magicians have in common? They both have an air of mystery about them.
And they use
Perhaps there's a
misdirection to
connection
pull off their crimes, usually.
Serious? What sort of a deduction is that?
Lyney did call out the similarities
My
between
journalistic instinct
thieves
tells me that an
and
exclusive
magicians
new
before.
story is beckoning. Let's go. No time for delay.
Yep. He just finished his show, so this is the perfect time to talk to him. The Forgotten Thief. Alright, Lyney. What have you been up to? Also, who's David? Why is he still here?
Wow, Mr. Magician! How did you know which card I picked?
Magic.
Oh, it's simple. Come closer, and I'll let you in on my secret. Magicians have a special skill called telepathy, which means we can read other people's minds.
Ah, totally.
Really? Then, what am I thinking now?
Oh?
Well, first you need to relax, because I can see that you're clenching your fist in your mind, as if to say, no, I mustn't let him guess it.
Aww.
Nice one.
And
He's gonna
now
direct his
you're getting a
attention
little
somewhere.
Flustered. You're trying to find a way to empty your mind, to think of nothing at all. But the more you try to hide a secret, the easier it'll come out. You snuck out from home today, didn't you? You told your family a little lie so you could come out and play. No, no, that's not a good habit.
Ah, they call out.
Oh boy, you really can read my mind.
Of course. Oh, and that's the end of my performance. You should really be heading home. Remember to apologize to your family, all right?
Look at that. Look at Lyney go. And to think he was accused of being a murderer.
Bye, Mr. Magician.
So, sup, Lyney? It's your favorite attorney here.
Hey, Lyney?
Why, hello. We meet again. Are you looking for me? What's the situation?
So, we have this person here who wants to interview you.
Telepathic.
Oh, please. You didn't believe that spiel, did you? The power of telepathy is quite beyond me.
Gotta impress children, though.
Seemed like you were right on the money.
That was nothing more than a little
Also,
trickery.
you couldn't guess
I
that
made
because
an
there's an
educated guess
interviewer
based
with
on his
us. You know,
micro-expressions.
there's a journalist here.
That,
You can't
plus
guess
the
what
fact
they
that
might
he was
want.
the only kid here without his parents, and he looked as guilty as sin. He made it easy for me. You guys, on the other hand, let me guess. Don't tell me you're here for the Phantom Weasel, are you?
Damn, okay, he did call it. Look at him go.
Your trickery at work.
Wait, really? No, no trickery this time. It was pure luck.
Alright then.
His warning letter's been the talk of the town, so I figured that maybe you were asking around about that.
Bingo! I plan on writing a column reporting on the latest news about the Phantom Weasel.
And you, as a magician, might be able to tell us some
What are your thoughts
stuff.
on this infamous thief's reappearance?
To be honest, it makes me angry.
Angry? Why?
Because they're a bad person. Duh.
You read his letter, right? The Phantom Weasel claims he's planning something in 3 nights' time at the Opera House. That's the night I'll be performing there.
Oh. So it's personal now. They want to help us catch him in the act?
Wait a minute, you don't think he's after you, do you?
Well,
imagine another magic show gets interrupted and he gets accused of yet another crime.
If not,
Poor
then
Lyney.
it's still going to be a huge headache for me. The mere mention of the weasel's name is enough to scare people off. So once the contents of that letter get out, barely anyone will be showing up to watch my show. But I've been preparing for this for a long time. I'm not about to let him ruin my big day.
So we gotta catch
This leaves
them.
me with only one choice. I have to expose the Phantom Weasel's identity before the show begins.
Well then, let's work fast.
So what you're saying is, we might get to see a live duel between a famous magician and an infamous thief? Wow, this has exclusive written all over it.
To be honest, I'm not sure if I'll emerge the victor. The Phantom Weasel is a notorious crook, infamous for his inscrutable methods.
You're being far too modest, Lyney. I think your magic tricks are even more inscrutable than those of a thief.
I mean, he do be pretty
Thanks for the
skilled. We
compliment,
know that
though
much.
I have to say, I don't care much for the comparison. A lot of people liken magicians to thieves because we both have the ability to make things disappear without the person noticing. But there's an important difference that these people overlook. Allow me to demonstrate with a quick magic trick.
All right.
Here, I have a flower. Just an ordinary flower that was picked not long ago. Watch it carefully now.
I'm watching it.
3, 2, 1.
Yeah, thanks, camera.
It's gone!
Where did it go?
That's the question. Where did it go? Therein lies the difference between us. Thieves make precious things disappear, but only magicians make them reappear.
Alright, where is it?
If I could now invite you all to check your clothes, there might be a surprise in there somewhere.
Oh?
A surprise? Let me see!
A surprise, you say? I wonder where it could be. Huh?
It's right there! But how? You haven't moved this whole time!
Magician.
An outstanding trick!
The absolute magic behind this. We must burn him at the stake immediately.
Clearly, magic is the superior art form to theft.
Don't worry, I didn't take offense. I just wanted to take the opportunity to perhaps change some of the preconceived
Lyney,
notions
stop
you might have
time,
about
yes.
magicians. Since Caesar's death, a lot of people associate magicians with criminality. It can be quite frustrating.
I would imagine.
Coming
Yeah.
back to your trick just now, might I presume that you are well versed in floral symbolism? For example, magicians often use rainbow roses in their flower-related performances to represent passion and romantic encounters.
Alright. Coming
But
into
you
it with
used
the
a
floral
limited
symbolism.
spell, which, if I'm not mistaken, allude to separations. I'm curious to know if there was any deeper meaning behind this choice.
Impressive knowledge. It's no
Look
wonder
at
you're
that.
such a successful journalist. But I'm afraid I don't know the first thing about floral symbolism.
Damn.
I'm just in the habit of using
Sad.
Lumidu spells in my magic. It sounds like something I should look into, though. I'll buy myself a copy of Fontaine's Floral Language Facts when I have some time. But it'll have to wait until this Phantom Weasel business is behind us.
Well noted.
So, how do we go
brings us to the
about uncovering their identity then?
I'm looking forward to the final showdown between you and the thief. Please feel free to get in touch to update me on any further developments. Otherwise, I will of course see you at your show in 3 days' time. But let's hope the Phantom Weasel is
You
not
could
by
still
then.
show up at his show even if the Phantom Thief is apprehended before then. Why would you not show up anymore then?
Exclusive piece. I'll see you all later.
Alright, I guess I'll help out Lyney now. Let's see what we can do here, the two of us, together. Great team.
Are you gonna tell us how you did that flower trick now?
No. Of course he won't.
I'm afraid that's my little secret.
The other trick he told us, he only told us because we needed to know it for the trick.
Entitled to their secrets. But Paimon's really itching to know how it's done.
Just the two. Fine, Paimon's here too.
Too, right?
Make it the three of us. The Phantom Weasel. You sure you'll be able to handle him?
Not so itchy then, huh? Well, since you're so concerned, how would you like to serve as my temporary magician's assistants and help me investigate?
Gladly. Is Lynette busy, or why is she not here?
Assistants are technically magicians too. Also, it'll bring us one step closer to figuring out how that darn trick is done. Shall we go for it?
We'll help you with your investigation.
Excellent. Thank you for putting your trust in moi. The first thing we need to look into is who Caesar really was. If he truly was the Phantom Weasel, that means that the Weasel is dead, and whoever wrote this warning letter is just a copycat criminal.
Yes.
But if he wasn't the Weasel? Well,
he could have faked his death too. It's a magician might be able to fake his death potentially, you know.
Corner of Fontaine. And if we're investigating Caesar, his fiancée Gemma is a good place to start. Word is that she visits the cemetery often, so I
don't
asked
get
Lynette
that.
to wait for
I
her
got it.
there.
I got
We should make a
it.
move.
I got your
Let's go and
reference. Your funny
rendezvous with
DDLC. Hmm. 900 meters. Probably gonna fast travel. Yep. Definitely fast traveling. Alright, let's go. Go to the cemetery. Already on it. Perhaps I should have picked the other teleport point. Would have saved myself the trouble of climbing. I know, I know. Ah, there we go. I knew you meant the DDLC version, of course. There's Lynette. Why is everyone here right now?
You took your time.
Sorry, I bumped into the Traveler and Charlotte en route, and we ended up chatting for a while.
It's been a while, Lynette. We're working as Lyney's temporary assistants in the investigation of the Phantom Weasel.
Yes.
Thank you.
Important shit's going on, you know?
So, what's the situation? Have you seen Gemma?
Nope. I've been here a while, and she still hasn't shown up.
How bizarre. Maybe it was bad intel. Well, we won't get anywhere by standing around waiting. Traveler, Paimon, let's go ask around.
Alright, I'll just talk to random people at the cemetery about a Phantom Weasel. Sure. I'm sure they're here exclusively for the reason of talking to me.
Excuse me, good sir. Do you by any chance know a Gemma?
Gemma? You mean Caesar's fiancée? Sure I do. What's this about?
I'm just trying to get a hold of her because I need her help with something. I heard she comes here a lot.
Yeah, she does. Poor thing. It's no
Yeah.
secret why either. She's heartsick.
One can
Ever
imagine.
since Caesar passed away, she's been coming here once every week to clean his grave. Often she just sits there in front of his headstone, lost in thought. Sometimes she talks to herself. I asked her what she was doing once. She said she wanted to speak to him again.
Yeah, doesn't really work that well.
Grave, but she just likes to spend time there, telling her fiancé all about how her life is going.
And she's been doing this ever since Caesar passed away? Oh,
How frequently does she come here again?
years. Wow.
Must be a lot. I hope she at least lives nearby.
I'll bet. Caesar's reputation fell apart after his
Let her
identity was
cope.
revealed, so
I mean,
no one
okay.
else visits his grave. Gemma's the only one who still thinks about him after all these years. I don't know if the mind lives on in the waters after death, but if it does,
Funny
I'm
you
sure
should word
Caesar
it
must
like
be
that,
grateful to have
considering
someone who
we've
remembers
seen
him fondly.
people
If I'm
live
honest,
on
I
in a
think this is
way.
all so unfair to poor Gemma. Her fiancé was a low-life crook. He doesn't deserve someone like her. Anyway, all of that said, she's running later than usual today. Normally, she'd be sitting in front of his grave by now. I wonder if she's okay. Well, that's
maybe she
everything I
is the
know, my
copycat
friend.
criminal.
Might have
I
more
said
luck
earlier,
asking some other people.
I specifically pointed to the option of it being the fiance
All
of the
right, well,
original
thanks for sharing all
of
of
the
this with
original
us.
culprit.
We'll keep asking
I
around.
specifically pointed
You're
to
welcome.
that.
I just hope she'll be able to
Please
move on
don't
one
tell
day.
me my initial guess was correct. If she is the one who put up that letter, then I don't even know. I don't even know how to feel about that. We'll see. But I guess we
Did you
won't
hear the
find
news?
out today.
They're
We will
saying the
find out
Phantom
another
Weasel's
time in the future.
You're kidding. Wait, isn't he dead?
I
I don't
misspeak?
know anymore. All sorts of news
Did I
flying
know?
around nowadays. I can never tell what's true and what isn't.
Ah, true, you were having another call.
But what if? Just hypothetically, I mean.
I'll
what
have to
if
check that
this
later
weasel's the
for some
real
kind of
deal,
MP3.
And Caesar was framed.
Called it. Seriously, 10 years ago, on the day it all went down, I said to myself, you know what? This guy's been set up. The Caesar I knew was a good guy. He
Huh.
gave balloons to children on the street, for Pete's sake. What, are we supposed to believe that he was a balloon thief or something? Give me a break.
I mean, it might have just been a facade to make himself look
Weren't you
innocent.
the one cursing his name to high heaven when the police announced the news? You were all, "Oh, that gosh darn lousy son of a, oh, you think you know a guy," or words to that effect.
Damn.
Wait, did I say that? I don't seem to recall.
Well, someone's changed their mind, apparently. Sorry to interrupt.
Hello there. Sorry for disturbing you, but I couldn't help but notice you were discussing the Phantom Weasel. We're actually quite interested in this topic as well, but we're struggling to get to the bottom of it. Do you think you could spare a moment to tell us a little bit about Caesar?
If you would be so kind, we would appreciate
You've
it.
come to the right people. Yep, I was there. Back when Caesar used to perform magic tricks on the street. He was a great magician. The best trick I ever saw him do was pop a transparent balloon, only for a whole bunch of doves to fly out from the inside.
A transparent... Okay,
I
then.
was right up close and didn't blink or look away once. But for the life of me, I still don't have the faintest clue how he pulled it off.
Oh yeah, it must have been
Really
misdirection.
incredible stuff.
The question is
I
always,
saw him
though,
perform
how?
Too. He always used to bring some gifts along for the kids who came to watch his show, and he'd hand them out after he was done. Sometimes, he even got the kids to write their wishes down, and then he'd make the items on the wish list appear in his next show.
What if he stole those items beforehand?
Sound like such a bad
He
guy.
stole stuff just to give it to people on the
But
show.
after
Then
he
again, that
died,
would be
there were
suspicious.
also
People would know.
rumors that he used the wish list to find out what was precious to people, with the intent to steal it later. As I'm sure you know, the Phantom Weasel would steal just about anything from anyone.
Whatever the case, now that the weasel is back, Caesar's become a hot topic once more.
Understandably so.
I bet Gemma must be pleased. If Caesar's name gets cleared, maybe it'll finally give her some solace after all this time.
Or
Oh,
she is
speak
the
of devil,
culprit now.
That's her over there. If you've got any more questions about Caesar, she's definitely the one to ask.
Just, alright, it's time to dramatically point
So
fingers.
that's Gemma. Is it just Paimon, or does it look like something's wrong? Wait, it looks like she's injured. Come on, let's see if she's okay.
Ha! Intriguing. Let her mourn first, talk to her after she's done.
Hi there. You're
Alright, we're not waiting until after she's done. Outfit looks cool. Of course she's wearing black. You know, going to a funeral.
Who's
I know it's not a funeral, but
Don't be
still.
afraid.
To
We
mourn
mean no
someone
harm.
wearing black makes sense.
It
Well,
looks
that's-
like you're injured.
I know what you mean.
How
I know
bad
the
is it?
old age, the old lady. Yeah.
Thanks for your concern. But you didn't answer my question. Who are you? And what do you want with me?
My name is Lyney, and this is my sister Lynette.
They're magicians. You know, like your husband was.
Paimon, and this here's the Traveler. We're investigating the Phantom Weasel.
The Weasel posted a warning letter this morning. If he still lives, that means that Caesar was falsely accused. You knew Caesar better than anyone else. So if you're willing, we'd love to hear what you think about all this.
Well,
I promise you can trust us. We won't
again,
hurt
what
you.
if she's
In
the one who
fact, we'll do all
posted
we can
that?
to keep you safe.
I never believed that he was the weasel.
Huh. I suspected as much. Okay, so going back 10 years, do you remember anything strange in the weeks leading up to the accident? Did Caesar have a falling out with anyone, for instance?
No, not that I know of.
Alright, so we're saying it should have been an honest accident then.
Alright, sorry for disturbing you.
That's the only question we have? Okay then.
If you don't have any more questions, please leave. I want to be alone with him.
Again, I feel like we could have asked her after she was done. Would have been more respectful, but okay, sure.
Judging by the look on her face, there's definitely something fishy about her.
She's lying. She definitely knows something.
Perhaps she simply doesn't trust us.
That's fair. We're just a bunch of strangers who showed up and started questioning her about things that happened a whole decade ago. It makes sense that she'd be wary around us. In any case,
or she is
I
the
doubt we'll get any
culprit.
Further here, so let's call it a day.
You know,
Meet
could
me
be.
outside Hotel de Boer tomorrow, and then we'll start the next step of our plan.
Alright. Waiting game time, huh? Wait until the next morning. So now, instead of 3 days from now, it's 2 days from now that the crime will take place. Ooh. Progressing along quite quickly, aren't we? Alright then. Who knows, perhaps the story quest isn't all that long. We'll have to see. Then again, if there's a trial at the end, then it might take a bit longer.
Lynette's not joining us today?
I might do the thing where I end right before the trial. Imagine if that's how it
They
goes.
should be at a cafe right now.
And then you'll be on the longest
Still,
cliffhanger ever.
I don't think that Gemma's likely to open up to us. So, we need a contingency plan.
Where should we start?
Today, we'll be looking into a guy named Lorenzo, Caesar's former pupil and assistant. When Caesar passed away, all the stolen goods discovered in his home were confiscated and returned to their rightful owners. But Lorenzo was the only one privy to all his magic secrets, and he inherited his craft.
Alright.
Before long, Lorenzo was the next big magician in town, his fame surpassing even that of his master, and it made him very wealthy. He's since left the magic scene though, and these days, he's a wealthy businessman with his fingers in a lot of different pies.
Intriguing.
I had to pull a lot of strings, but I managed to get him to agree to a couple of drinks with me. Be warned though.
Are you also gonna
I
ask
hear
him for
he's
some
got a
tricks?
hair-triggered temper. We'd best be careful.
Imagine Lily's just like, hey, wanna share some tricks? You know, magician to magician. There's 2 of me! What the hell just... What the hell just happened? And then reconnected. I had that too? Just at the end of the Archon Quest, Act 2. Intriguing. So that's like a more common bug then. It's not just a like one happens once kind of thing. I wonder if they'll fix that. I wonder what caused that. Sudden ether duplication. Guys, we discovered a duplication glitch. Let's abuse it. Get as many ethers as we want.
You neglected to mention that you were bringing 2 other people with you.
I can
My
leave if you don't like
apologies.
me being
These 2
here.
are my assistants. When they heard that I was meeting with the former magic maestro himself, they begged and pleaded with me to bring them along.
If I wasn't fast
and if
enough.
it's no
Well,
trouble, a
now you
couple
can
of
use my
autographs
stream
would
as
really
evidence
make
that
their
this
day.
stuff can happen.
Oh, forget the pleasantries, just sit.
Okay. Paimon, there is still another chair.
Get a load of this guy. Forget the pleasantries, he says, but he looks pretty happy about Lyney stroking his ego.
I mean, of course
I
it would
only
be.
agreed to meet since we're both magicians. Do me a favor and cut to the chase. I have more important things to do than drinking.
Much
Wow.
obliged, sir.
Not a very
As
nice
it
person,
happens,
huh? Perhaps
the
he
matter
did
I
kill
want
his
to
own.
address is also
Perhaps
related
the
to
accident
magic.
was truly the
Yesterday
student
morning,
becoming the
a
master by
warning
killing
letter
his
from the
master.
Phantom Weasel appeared on the entrance to the Opera House. He claims to be planning something for the same evening that I'm scheduled to do a magic show there. As such, I believe that I may well be his target. I have to get to the bottom of this to ensure that my show can go ahead as planned. Naturally, any investigation into the Weasel starts with a few questions about Caesar, who...
Ooh.
What is there to investigate?
Oh shit.
Caesar was the Weasel and he's been dead for 10 years. So what if some sick creep
do
thought
better
it'd be
than
funny
him.
to write a warning letter? It
Wow.
changes nothing. Are you trying to tell me you actually bought it?
Please, sir, no need to get so worked up. I do concede that a copycat is but one possibility.
Possibility? It's a fact, Lyney. Look, my patience is limited, so listen carefully while I'm still willing to put up with you.
Lorenzo
The Weasel
truly is an asshole.
Is dead. Period. Everyone knows that, so do yourself a favor and quit this investigation. It'll lead you nowhere. Look, if this affects
I have a
your
feeling that,
magic
again,
show
he
in
might
any
be
way, I
responsible
will
for the
personally
quote-unquote
compensate
accident
you
that
for any
befell his
losses.
master.
Oh, sir,
Just
I'm
judging by his
honored,
personality
really.
alone.
But this isn't about finances for me. My pride as a magician is what's at stake here, Lorenzo. Copycat or not, this person has thrown me the gauntlet, and I must meet their challenge head on.
Your pride? Don't mince
Wow.
words with me, boy. Just tell me, what exactly are you seeking to do?
I want to
Well,
find out the
find
Phantom
them.
Weasel's true identity. I have to know for myself what really happened 10 years ago.
What would that accomplish? And what do the events of 10 years ago have to do with you, anyway? Look,
he
you
just
of all
elaborated
people
what it
should
has
know
to
that
do
a
with
magician
him.
never reveals their secrets. And in any case, dead men don't talk. So if you really care about your magician's pride, then you'll forget about Caesar and move on.
And just accept the fact that he'll be targeted by the Weasel?
Uh-oh. This is getting awkward.
Lorenzo? Is that? Oh, it is you!
Who is this?
I know that big, booming voice anywhere. What's up, my man? Want to grab a drink with me?
Who is you?
Another day, I'm busy.
Oh, come on. You can't be all business all the time. You know what
Immediately
they say?
drunk, huh?
Live fast, die young. You gotta learn how to kick back and relax once in a while.
Who is this
If I
person?
wanted your life advice, I'd ask for it. Now get out of my face and go be drunk somewhere else.
Damn.
Sorry, my good sir. I don't believe I've had the pleasure.
Oh, hey. Edmondo. He and I are business pals. We
Oh.
worked together a bunch of times.
Okay.
This is your first time meeting him? Oh, he's always
No
like
tell no
this.
tales.
Foul
Fair.
mouth and hard nose. Never heard a kind word out of this guy the whole time I've known him.
So yeah, he is just an asshole.
And he wonders why he can't get a girlfriend, despite being, what, pushing 40, 30?
Hang on.
Point is,
First of all, welcome to the
lot
stream.
older
Not
than
much to
when
say
he
here.
First got rejected by the girl he was into.
Ah, thank you.
Still into, from what I hear.
Thank you so much for the virtual hug.
Face another word out of you and you can forget
Hug
about doing
right back
business
at
with me
you,
ever
you know,
again.
right back at you. I'm doing
Do I
well
make
though.
myself clear?
I do think I'm doing pretty well, but thank you. That reassurance
Sorry,
means
I
a
may
lot.
have had a little too much to drink.
It
All
really
right.
does.
I'm gonna leave. Don't work too hard.
Yeah, hello. Welcome to the stream.
high time I
Oh
made a
god,
move
what a name
as
by the way.
well. If you really
Asma la la
want
la
to
la la la
investigate
la.
this, Lyney, be my guest.
I'm imagining ah
But if
names,
nothing
you
good
know?
comes of it, don't
Names, I
say
can't do
didn't warn
names.
you.
But thank you again. We're currently, as you can see, we're playing some lovely Genshin,
that
doing
fell
some
to pieces in a rather
investigations
spectacular
again.
fashion. Any thoughts?
So yeah, we've been doing a lot of investigations in Genshin recently. Again, though, I do appreciate everything. Feels a little bit weird still when people like have genuine comments like that to say to me and reassurance like that. Here's a long message. Yeah, true, long messages do sometimes set off that like instinct. But, I think reading through it once can basically clear any suspicion here. Again, it's really appreciated. There's something strange about him.
Totally. And what was all that about compensating you for your losses? Why would someone you just met make an offer like that? He's gotta be hiding something. And not like Gemma. She was a little suspicious, but this guy's definitely covering
I mean, he does just seem like a very mean person.
I think so too. We need to look into Lorenzo more closely. That guy Edmondo seems to know a thing or two about him. He only just left. Let's see if we can catch up.
Alright, let's ask a witness here. No ether duplication glitch this time. By the way, since I'm... Actually, no, I'll do that another time. Like buying new cooking recipes. I'll do that later because I'm pretty sure you need higher reputation levels sometimes to unlock all of the recipes, so I'll wait. So, Mr. Edmondo. Oh no, he has Mondo in his name. Flashbacks to Danganronpa.
Who are you? Oh, it's you guys. Don't worry about me. I must have had one too many. I just need to ride it out.
Alright, dude.
I say way
no
too
need
much
to uphold
back
the
there,
facade here.
Yeah, I nearly talked myself into complete financial ruin. Note to self, no more drunken chats when Lorenzo's around.
So, he was serious about threatening to cut you off? Ugh, Paimon knew he was a bad
Oh, what
egg.
tipped you off, Paimon?
Hey, keep your voice down. Don't go prying into Lorenzo's personal affairs. Bad things happen to people who ask too many questions or make an enemy out of him.
What kind of bad things?
Don't even ask. I'm sorry. I'm gonna have to cut this.
So he
conversation
definitely
short.
seems
I'm
very
not crossing
sus.
that line again. And take it from me, trouble with Lorenzo is one thing you don't need in your life. You saw him flare up back there. I don't know what you said to him, but clearly it touched a nerve.
Ha!
That's not a good sign.
Again,
You're
seems
too
like
young
he
for
might be
this.
connected to
Don't
everything
get
in
in
some
over
way
your
then.
head. I'm leaving.
Alrighty then. So where do we go from here?
Goes. What do we do now, Lyney?
Shh. I think we're being watched.
Oh yeah.
Someone was listening in to our whole
Agent with
conversation.
sunglasses.
Don't
Sunglasses,
say
yeah,
anything
glasses
and don't
back
look
there.
back. Any altercation in the city will attract the guards. We better take this elsewhere.
Alrighty then. And they're gone. They were just back there, but okay. Now if this were anything like Raincoat, we could actually see the person following us. But no! Genshin can't do that. Genshin can't handle having a person follow us. To be fair, we're gonna have to teleport a long distance now anyway, according to the map. So I wouldn't walk that way. Alright. Here we is.
You followed us a long way. Why don't you come out and introduce yourselves?
Hello there,
so
friends.
you're Lyney. And where's your sister? Ain't
Smooth
she with you
face,
today?
what a nickname.
Save us the trouble and go fetch her for us. Let's not drag this out.
What are you interested in?
Who sent you, huh?
Save your questions,
Painter.
Missy. You ain't gonna need answers where you're going. Capiche?
Are these
Looks like we
people
can't
really
avoid
gonna...
this fight.
Are they really gonna try? They're
No,
really gonna
I'm
try,
not the
huh?
strongest fighter, so I hope you're ready to back me up.
Ha! You're a 5-star.
We got this.
You're a 5-star, of course you're gonna be a good fighter. Alright, trial character time, I see. Let's set some stuff up. Grab a shield. Alright, Lyney, let's see what you can do.
And voila!
I mean, I already used him as a trial character once, so you know. Well, that was easy.
Curses.
They really tried, huh?
Vision wielders are always trouble. Intimidation ain't gonna work like it did on the lady.
Come on, let's scram!
Oh, is that why she didn't want to talk to us? Because she was threatened into keeping quiet. Interesting.
Did you catch what they said just before they left? Something about intimidating someone else. Sounds like they just wanted to rough us up as a scare tactic, and they've already done it to someone else, but who?
Could it be Gemma?
You're right. She was injured when we saw her yesterday, and she acted like she had something to hide.
Very suspicious.
Maybe she was too scared to tell us the truth because those guys had threatened her.
Well, if that's the case, she should be more willing to open up to us once she learns that those thugs won't be bothering her anymore.
Well, they ran away.
Let's
We
head back
didn't
to the
exactly
cafe
kill
and
them.
See if we can get any information
Sadly,
from her.
I would have killed them. But I guess we can't exactly do that. Sad. Alright. And back we go. A lot of back and forth here. Okay. Let's see. Hello! Oh, there's Lynette. So they're just chatting now. She sent them and just said that to confuse us. Imagine.
Gemma?
Nice misdirection in that case.
You again. What is it this time?
We just ran into the men who've been threatening you, and we gave them a taste of their own medicine. So, you can relax now. We're here to protect you.
What? Why? I didn't tell you anything. Why would they come after you?
Because we interrogated other people.
Sounds like they're no strangers to you.
That's putting it mildly. I know them all too well, and I hate them with every fiber of my being.
I can imagine.
It's been 10 long years, and still every time I try to look into Caesar's death, they show up and warn me not to do anything stupid.
Well, work with us, we can offer you protection.
Do you really think you can get to the bottom of it all?
If you give us info.
Why are you doing this?
For his show,
I'm afraid I
you
can't
know.
reveal all the details just yet, but I can promise you this. I will expose the Phantom Weasel's true identity.
There we go.
Because you see, this is a personal matter of the utmost importance. I give you my word. Trust me.
Okay. How can I help you?
I've heard that Caesar used to have a magic workshop where he kept a lot of his personal effects. If possible, I'd like to take a look at them. Do you know where it is?
The Fleuve Sonde. But the place was sealed up by the police after his death, and no one's been there since.
Well, we'll just have to break
I also know
in.
that the Fleuve Sonde is dangerous territory. Lots of hostile groups lurking around.
Well, they won't be a problem for
If you're
us.
serious about going there, please be careful.
How bad could it
Understood.
be?
Lynette, you stay here and take care of Gemma. Don't let her come to harm.
Got it. But if I'm staying here, I'm ordering dessert.
Damn.
I mean,
What a
bon
demand.
appetit, but stay sharp, too. They're likely to come for you while I'm away.
Okay. Alright. Power saving mode off. I'll start taking this more seriously now.
Oh. Oh, shiz. Alright. Underground. Well, then I guess we go here. Like if I check. Yeah. Serious, Lynette. That's how you know shit's about to go down. Back in the sewers. Cat. And there we go.
If Gemma gave us the right location, then the workshop should be right nearby. Huh. Looks like these boxes are blocking the entrance. Let's shift them away first.
Secret passage. You help Lyney move the box aside. It looks like no one's been here in a long time.
There we go. It should be just
Oh, you
down
gotta be
here.
really quick about reading that. Enter the magic workshop. We got this. By the way, you know how recently I said that sadly, oh how very sadly, Raincoat is the least popular series on my channel, despite me enjoying that the most. I take it back! Raincoat is not the least popular series on my channel. Because with Genshin, it seems like my viewer count has been halved yet again. But that's how you know I'm not just in it for the viewers. If I really was just in it for the viewers, I would not be streaming Genshin anymore. Because I know that streaming Genshin will do nothing but drag those numbers down. I'm really not doing myself any favors with this.
So this was Caesar's workshop.
But it is a fun game. And at this point, I'm committed. For those few people who do care about Genshin, I'm not gonna stop partway through. Plus, it's not like I stream it constantly, it's only when there's new stuff available.
What was that? Oh, is this one of Caesar's gadgets? Guess we must have triggered some sort of device.
Ooh. Balloons! They did say that he gives balloons to people, to children and everything, yeah. Will mind constant Genshin streams? Yeah, but again, I'd rather do this just when there's actual new stuff. Alright, fine, I'll do the thing this time. Yeah, that makes things a lot quicker now, doesn't it?
Whoa. Look, the doll in the box is glowing.
What, this one?
There's something written on the card on this doll. Let's take a closer look.
Something written where, when, how, and why? Here? No. Oh, here, the wish list! Like a little dove, I want a robot with cool powers. Parents' permission to own a pet, you also need to take good care of it. I've got enough to it off this time. I'll make it next time. Huh. Fried chicken that never runs out, I'd like it. Fried chicken that never runs out, just there's nothing a child can know or grow up. Huh. Elevator. We're going back up, okay. Door of Resurrection. It's time me to go that way. So I'm gonna have to look up here.
Looks like we've reached the end of this route. Shall we try a different one?
But I want to have a look at least. You never know when they might hide some chests. Oh, they're all dead ends. So I see how this goes. So I have to maneuver stuff around.
These magic boxes are moving. What do we do?
One of them looks different from the rest. Let's investigate.
Well, that did whatever that was supposed to do. Wedding Uncle Caesar. Up, Uncle Caesar. Can't you stay with us, Uncle Caesar? Which is rather exceeded my expectations. Not invited. Alright, let's do the other side. Middle one. Easy enough. Alright. And we can move on.
That's weird. Have we reached the end already? There's nothing here. Maybe this was a wasted trip.
Lyney, what are you looking at?
This place seems a little too ordinary for a magician's workshop.
True.
There's a distinct lack of mystery. We've triggered quite a few devices on the way here. I'm starting to wonder whether Caesar built this whole place as one big, elaborate magic contraption.
Alright, so what are you
then
thinking
there
we
must
should
be
do?
more to this place than meets the eye. Maybe a hidden room somewhere.
But where?
Aha. If I just move this book, then hopefully... And... presto.
Alright. Classic hidden passageway behind a bookshelf.
I'm a magician too, and apparently great minds really do think alike. Looks pretty big inside.
There's a chest.
Let's head in and take a look around.
Yes. Give me. I need it. I must grab it. 2 primo gems. Alright, we have some more enemies in here. Easy enough.
And voila!
Nothing else in here? No. That's why I came in. Alright, let's grab this. Music is all the music in this game is epic. Genshin is just amazing in every way, I guess. Ah, hello. Well, this looks interesting. Guess we'll find out what exactly that is in a second. Except performance. Well, it works okay for me. Although I have to admit that it is still overheating my shit a little bit at least. Are they not gonna? There we go. Took them a moment to do their thing.
Now disappear.
Alright. Now what?
Why have you stopped, Lyney? Is there some device in that box?
What if the box is the device?
It just looks familiar somehow. Let me check this out for a second while you guys go on ahead.
Ah, yes, and we're gonna run into a similar one, and he's gonna come out of it. Right? It's gonna be another one of those tricks. Similar shit. Alright. Let's see. Activate. Activate without stepping on the same one twice. True classic, I guess. Alright. Simple enough. It is done. And the door shall open to another elevator. Many elevators in here. And they all lead upwards.
Wow.
How come we haven't hit the surface then? Oh no, it's not an elevator this time. Okay.
Oh, this bookcase is full of Caesar's own notes. He wrote a lot about the principles of magic. Whew. Much too advanced for Paimon.
Everything's much too advanced for Paimon, to be fair.
Caesar's diary on the table?
Come on. It's not letting me scale anything. Alright, let's read his diary, I guess.
This book's thick as a brick! Let's take a peek inside it, shall we?
Alright, about the wish lists.
At one of my shows a few days ago, a child asked me how I pulled candy out of my hat. As a joke, I told the kid that the hat has a built-in wish-granting machine. Next thing I know, today a whole bunch of kids were pestering me to pull all sorts of things out of the hat.
And that's how the wish
I
list
told
came to
them
be,
another
huh?
White lie. The machine needs time to power up, but in the meantime, you can write your wishes down. Well, they took me up on that offer, enthusiastically.
I mean, they're children. Can't
As I
blame
write
them.
this, I've only just got back from running around all over town, buying the things they wanted. Boy, are my legs sore. I wound up saving very little this month, but that's not a major issue. I now have a bigger problem. How am I going to hide all these things inside my hat?
Yeah, that would be an issue, wouldn't it? About the children studying magic. Oh?
2 children came to talk to me after today's show. I don't know why they were out on their own. They looked much too young to be unsupervised. I do hope they got home safely. Anyway,
Might that be
they
referring
said
to
that they
Lyney
wanted
and
me to
Lynette,
teach them how
maybe?
to do magic. It's
No
not
way,
uncommon
right?
for
There's
children
no
to ask
way.
this, of course, but I've never seen any of them as serious about it as these.
There's
two.
no way that was referring to those two, right?
I told them that learning magic is very hard work, but that didn't faze them at all. It's like they already knew. They seemed so committed. I couldn't turn them down.
Is that how they learned magic? If so, that's pretty nice. That makes this case even more personal then. About Lorenzo's issues.
It seems like something's bothering Lorenzo lately, but he won't open up to me about it.
He doesn't seem like the type to open up.
Surely he's not upset that I agreed to teach those 2 children. I'll have to talk him around. I have a good feeling about those kids. They're naturally talented, and it seems like they're not new to the world of magic.
Oh my god, I just had an idea.
They have all sorts
Lorenzo
of
put the
fantastic
letter.
ideas. All I'm really doing is helping them develop a more professional standard training plan.
Take what they have taken from
They
you.
wanted to call me master, but I told them they absolutely
He
mustn't.
thinks that Lyney and
Magician
Lynette
was their
stole
soul
his
to the top
teacher
than what
from
I
him.
have.
Is that it? And he
They're
wants
the
to steal,
geniuses
and now
here.
he wants to steal
Compared to them, I
something
don't
back?
deserve to be called any sort of
I don't
master.
know. Maybe that's what
With
happened.
time, I have no doubt that they could become far greater magicians than I. My only concern is why they're so mature for their age. I fear they've had to grow up too fast.
Yeah.
I don't dare to imagine what they must have been through.
Yeah, this is definitely referring to those two.
Gemma thinks
Definitely
so too.
referring to Lyney and Lynette.
She doesn't like being around them. Says that their eyes are too piercing. They don't bother me, but then again, I've never been the sharpest tool in the shed.
Alright, so my theory right now, Lorenzo thinks that Lyney and Lynette stole his master from him. Which is why he is now willing to steal, which is why he's now gonna steal something precious from them. Not sure what yet, but we will see. We will see exactly how this is gonna go, but that is my working theory, judging by what we see here. About the farewell.
It's nearly time for me to go on tour. I asked the 2 kids if they'd like to come with me, but they shook their heads. I once overheard them talking about their father. and their
Interesting.
mission.
Gabe!
Sounds like their parents have other plans.
How
for
are
them.
you?
I guess we'll be parting ways soon.
Thank you so much for the raid with 1 viewer. So we're both very unpopular today, I see. You and me both. Ah, and the shout out. Thank you. Thank you. Looks like my mod team knows what they're doing. But yeah, we're both not doing too well today. I guess Genshin just isn't... I guess multiple people are avoiding watching Genshin streams recently. You rating me with 1 viewer. Me sitting here with 3 viewers before you showed up. Which is like a small fraction of what I normally have. But yeah, Genshin's not doing numbers right now. Yeah, it really isn't. But still. Maybe to avoid spoilers, that could be the case. Even so, even if Genshin isn't dragging in the numbers, it's not like I'm particularly streaming for the numbers. I talked about that earlier. So, again, I'm just committed to this game at this point. I would feel bad if I had like a series going. I just canceled the series midway through. I couldn't do that, which is why I will keep going even when stuff ain't going too well. But yeah, you were doing, I think you were doing the weekly matches I was lurking a little bit in your stream. I think when I was there you were doing the TCG stuff, the weekly stuff. So hope everything went well since then. But yeah, we're finished with the Archon Quests. We are now doing story quests. Specifically, there's 1 new story quest that was added. I'm probably not gonna finish it today, but I'll see just how far I can get. In Sumeru Act 5, TCG was just to pad time. Ah, I see. I did see a little bit of that as well.
Met them, but I think that I've gotten a feel for their personalities now.
But yeah, we are currently investigating another case.
And they trust no one but each other. This, I fear, is not a good habit to have.
And I'm pretty sure that the diary is talking about Lyney and Lynette.
For example, when I asked them where they live and why they wanted to learn magic, they lied. That's the thing about children. Whenever they're trying to cover something up, it always shows somehow. I can sense that their lives have been hard.
Yeah, we know that much about them.
Too. They're not like other children. It's a shame that I can't do more to help them.
So Lyney, when are you gonna show up here to
After
notice
thinking
this?
things over, I decided to tell them a bit about how I see the world. It's full of lies and falsehoods. And that is why we must find our own truth.
And this person was accused of being a
They
thief.
won't find my nagging
A
annoying.
phantom thief.
Children are so opinionated nowadays. Will it do them more harm than good for someone they've only known 10 days to lecture them like that?
I mean, he was probably the closest they had to a father figure at that
I'm
point.
overthinking this. Children aren't interested in grand philosophies. It probably just went in one ear and out the other. I bet they've already forgotten
So
every
that was
word I
great,
said.
by the way. Yeah, I imagine. It was fun for me as well.
Caesar.
Again, a lot of good
Mind your
stuff
own
in this
business next
game.
time.
I can't wait to see what... I can't wait to finish all of this, like, to the end. Like, get all the way through when the game is fully released with all the nations. It's gonna be massive. They will forget me and the doctor. Wow. Ah, the doctor. Yes, the doctor, absolutely. So much lore was in Sumeru. Ah. Man. I still have to revisit Sumeru a whole bunch, because my exploration progress is still very low. I have yet to max out a single area in Sumeru. Maybe I'll do that at some point. But Sumeru is big, okay? Very big.
Two magic geniuses with a father and a mission, huh?
Yeah, definitely Lyney and Lynette.
Sounds a lot like he was writing about Lyney and Lynette, don't you think?
Yep. I agrees.
So did they meet Caesar when they were kids? Let's go ask Lyney.
If Lyney is still down there, but I'm sure he'll show up here in a second. Or not? No, I guess we are going back. Alrighty then, I guess we're going back. Lyney! I have news to share.
Lyney?
Shh, hold that thought. As I expected, there's a lot of fishy things going on in this place.
Oh.
Fishy?
Doesn't care about spoilers.
Uh-oh, what have
I mean,
you
let's face
found?
it, Gabe, you're not very far with story quests right now. You have a
All
lot
in
of catching
good
up to do
time.
on story quests,
Before we go over
if
our
I'm
new
not
leads,
mistaken,
I wanna
so,
tell you,
you
how
know.
a high-altitude escape is performed.
Ah, the high
First,
altitude escape,
the magician
okay.
slots themselves into a magic box in full view of the audience. The box is then suspended high in the air, and a short while later, the base automatically opens. At this point, a dummy will fall out of the box, but it looks real enough to grab the audience's attention, and they start wailing and screaming.
And the real
Meanwhile,
person
the
does
real
what?
magician, who has by now blended into the crowd, waits for a good moment to make their appearance and put on a hysterical performance. Oh no! Is that me? Did I just fall to my death?
Very vivid description. Paimon can really picture it. And then what?
The audience's gaze then turns to the magician, and by the time they realize what's happened, the dummy has vanished, as if everything that just happened was some sort of shared illusion.
Good old misdirection.
Of course, that's just how I think the process should work, theoretically speaking.
Theoretically speaking, what do you mean? That's the conclusion he came to by looking at this, I imagine?
The inventor of this trick never performed it successfully. When the box opened, Caesar was the one who fell out, and not the dummy.
Looking at the moment, that is fair.
He fell right to the ground from the highest point of the opera
And yeah, it is
house.
getting kind of late for me too, you know?
No one could hope to survive that fall. Not without a vision, at least. And no one else has ever attempted this trick since. My understanding of how it works is just based on what I could gather from his notes.
Imagine
and
he
the relevant
imagine he
gadgets
just
here in
does
his
the trick
workshop.
at the end of this chapter.
So Caesar's
He will do
famous
this
high
trick at the end of the
altitude escape has
chapter
never been
to
done,
do the
huh?
one trick that his master didn't do. That his master couldn't succeed in.
Paimon was about to say how cool it would have been to see it in person, but if it's that dangerous, it's probably for the best that no one else tries to do it.
Imagine he does it. Just flexing on his old master. Look at this, I did it.
He's supposed to drop out of the box.
If he fails too.
magician go?
Oh no.
How does he get out?
Glad you asked. That brings us to the secret of said box. This box right here is the one that Caesar constructed himself to use in the performance, and it's not as simple as it looks. Inside, there's a device that only the magician himself would know about. Once the magician's inside and the box is lifted up into the air, the audience's view of the box is fixed at a certain angle. From where they're standing, they have a clear view of the front, sides, and bottom, but the back and the top are now no longer visible.
Alright, so
At this
he could
point,
escape through
the
either of
magician
those
presses a
points.
button inside the box, opening a secret door out of view. He then escapes through this trap door onto the opera house roof, waits for the dummy to fall and distract the audience, and quietly returns to ground level.
That's way simpler than Paimon imagined. Even Paimon could probably do it.
Paimon, you can't
There's a
exactly
little more to
fall,
it than
can
that,
you?
Of course. The hardest part of this trick is controlling the audience's mood and reactions. That takes an exceptional degree of showmanship. There's the falling dummy, the miraculous reappearance, the pompous performing. Maybe the magician would even have themselves tied up before it begins to strengthen the impression that there's no escape.
A classic
Many
trick.
days and nights of careful research and painstaking practice would have gone into this, all culminating in a performance just a few minutes long, but one that still manages to transform the shock and grief of a tragic accident to the joy and laughter of a mesmerizing magic trick.
Except that transformation never
Caesar
happened,
was a highly
sadly.
accomplished magician. But unfortunately, even he didn't manage to pull it off.
Which is why you will do it for him.
How did it go so wrong? You said you found some fishy stuff here. Have you figured out what really happened?
I can make a pretty good guess. I looked into the case files. The magic box Caesar was using at the time of his death had the secret button I mentioned positioned on the right-hand side. And, sure enough, he always used his right hand as his dominant hand in public.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Nothing suspicious there.
But here's the strange thing. Most of the devices in this workshop have the mechanism on the left-hand side, including this box right here. Which leads me to believe that Caesar was in fact left-handed.
I'm not sure where you're going with this. Yeah. I guess it's all once again coming back to misdirects, but But why would he pretend to be right-handed?
Because a magician can't afford to have their most basic habits stand out too much.
Okay.
People naturally focus their attention on the most important details of the task or situation at hand. But a magician needs to be able to redirect an audience's attention at will, so as to avoid arousing their suspicion. The essence of magic is getting people to believe a lie.
Yes.
If even the truth raises eyebrows, the falsehoods become all the more difficult to mask. And so, Caesar trained himself to use his right hand to align with his audience's expectations.
Guess that's interesting enough.
Great magic always requires sacrifices. But in his most stressful and nerve-wracking moments, and when no one was watching, reflex would kick in and he'd use his left hand.
Okay.
That's why he set his gadgets with the mechanism on his left.
Maybe someone exploited that fact against him?
Exactly. I think that's likely what happened. Caesar would have been under a lot of time pressure during the escape. He'd have had mere seconds to open the hidden compartment, retrieve the dummy, then open the secret door and make a swift escape.
And he
But
didn't
I'm
find the
sure
button
he was
because he was looking at the
perfect.
wrong side.
He would have rehearsed countless times to the point where it was second nature. He'd barely need to think about what he was doing because muscle memory would guide him through. So he opened the compartment, took out the dummy, checked everything was in order, and then went to leave. With his left hand, he reached for the button, and suddenly, his heart skipped a beat. It wasn't there. Much like when you reach for your keys but find your pocket empty, his mind needed a moment to process what was going on.
And that was a moment too
Instinctively,
long.
His left hand would keep feeling around for the missing button, maybe for another second or two, until the bottom of the box gave way. With the stakes being as high as they were, just a 2-second delay cost him everything. The authorities would find nothing suspicious and conclude that his death was due to his own error.
And then the question becomes, who did it?
Someone switched the boxes, and they did it to murder him. But how would they be able to make the switch without being noticed? That would be difficult to pull off, no?
It would have to have been someone who knew that he was left-handed and who could move his props around without arousing
In other
suspicion.
words, his
Someone
student,
who was always by his
Lorenzo.
side. Isn't that right, Lorenzo?
Oh, he here.
You just couldn't let sleeping dogs lie.
Isn't that right?
Not a lot of people who'd go to all
We're
this
doing it
trouble for
again.
some magician who died 10 years ago. I didn't want to have to do this, you know. Silencing you the hard way just creates more problems for me to deal with.
You really think you stand a
gave you
chance to
your
fight
chance.
here?
I hoped you'd do what's good for you and back off like the lady, but you disappoint me.
Dude, you have 4 goons here.
Gemma?
None of them have a vision.
So you are the one who's been threatening her.
He really thinks he can do anything.
Yes, although however stubborn she might be, she was never much of a liability. But you people, you never even knew him, but for some reason you just wouldn't drop it.
Well, I
Which is
mean,
why
you know.
can't leave this place alive. Take them out. And make it quick.
We defeated them once already. You really think you can just try again and it'll be a different result? He really thinks on a second. Okay, to be fair, they have one more assistant here in the form of the mechanical doggy. But that is the only difference.
Step right up.
Ah, there's some more. Definition of insanity. Yup. It do be that.
Stabilize. Now disappear.
Alright, your extra backup didn't do you any favors here. And then Lorenzo died.
You kids are tougher than you look.
Idea for the trick. Let's try doing the trick, but instead of a dummy, we use Lorenzo's unconscious body. And then he can fall to his death as part of the trick.
I think it's high time you
Perfect.
started talking. And what I'd really like to know is, why did you murder Caesar?
If I had a Mora for every time you said that man's name.
Yo.
Well, Caesar, everyone else did.
Best trick I know, right?
The real genius magician. Me. He was just an amateur who did cheap tricks for gullible children. I was the one who made magic into the fine art it is today. The aristocrats doffed their hats to me.
I mean, we knew he was an asshole, but still.
Jealousy. Hatred, more like.
Then why did you become a student in the first place?
All he cared about was his magic. He lived and breathed it.
I mean, he was a magician.
Poured everything into his street performances and his stupid tours like it was just a hobby to him. Never bothering to think about Mora. What sort of fool devotes their life to the art of deception and never has a Mora to show for it?
People who just
But
like
people
being
loved
good
him,
people.
didn't they? Oh, how they looked up to him. No one gave me a second look. All I ever heard was, "Oh, your master's amazing, isn't he?"
Well, maybe because unlike you, he was a good person.
Yeah, so amazing.
Maybe he
that
wasn't
was
an asshole
completely
compared to you.
Broke. Every other apprentice was living it up at their master's expense, but no, not me. I put in all the work, mastered all the skills, and it brought me nothing more than the life I already had.
So you killed him.
He forbade me from using magic to trick people out of their Mora. There was nothing he hated more than that.
Again,
and with his
one good
reputation
person.
in Fontaine, it was too risky for me to go it alone. As long as he was alive, if I dabbled in my own brand of money-making magic, he would expose me, and it would destroy me. I had to
Dickhead
kill him.
fault. Let's do that trick,
There was
yeah.
no other way.
Stuff him in the box. Let's go. Let's do it.
And this was your only motive?
It was reason enough. What other motive would I need?
Well, I was under the impression that there might have been other factors at play. For instance, maybe you were in love with Gemma, but she was engaged to Caesar.
In love with Gemma? Don't be ridiculous.
Interesting accusation.
Guess I was
The
wrong
person
about
he's
that
threatening
then.
there?
Next question. Are you the Phantom Weasel?
I think so.
I am.
Yep.
Caesar was so strict with me. He insisted that his way was the right way. That the sole purpose of magic was to bring joy to the world.
And you thought the sole purpose was to take joy from the
I was more
world.
interested in the practical value of magic. Sure enough, it helped me fill my pockets with all kinds of valuable treasures.
But I heard that the Phantom Weasel stole from the rich and poor alike.
Oh, yeah! Charlotte told us that the weasel would steal whatever people valued, no matter how much it was worth.
That's just how it looked from the outside. What would any thief want with second-rate loot? I've only ever targeted high-value items.
He talks.
I
And
stole
boy, he
cheap
talking.
things
Yeah, someone
as a way
recording
of
this? Oh, I
practicing my
am.
craft. It was other people's overactive imaginations.
Do we even need to
conjured up
take
the
him to court? I
preposterous
think this
image
is
they've
a,
been dubbed
again,
the
open and shut
Phantom
case.
Weasel.
So that's the story, huh? Well, I hope you're ready to tell it all over again during your trial.
What choice do I have? You're a pack of wolves, and you've got me between your jaws. You've seen what's
Yep,
here.
case
My
closed.
last-ditch effort to stop it getting out has failed. What else can I do? So be it. I've enjoyed power and wealth for the last 10 years, the likes of which Caesar could never give me.
Huh. You know, if he was really smart, he would have tried to, you know, trap us in here and let us starve or something.
well.
You know, destroy
In
the
that
entrance,
case, I'll contact the
anything.
guards.
That would have
Charlotte,
been
Paimon,
much better
keep an eye
option
on
than trying to
Lorenzo
attack
for me.
us with people we've
I'll meet
already
you just
defeated
outside the
before.
workshop when I'm back.
But I guess I was expecting too much of him. When has the villain ever been smart enough to do anything like that? Perhaps, you know what? Perhaps we will finish this after all. It looks like we're at the end of this story quest. Maybe we'll play till the end if it's not much longer.
Told me the whole story. Lorenzo, do you confess to the murder of Caesar and to framing him for the Phantom Weasel's crimes?
Look who's finally developed a conscience.
Alright.
What kind of disciple murders their own master? I hope it was worth it. Because there'll be hell to pay.
Dissolve him.
Looks like it's all over. What should we do next, Lyney? Should we start preparing for your show?
Maybe.
Let me think. Let's rendezvous with Lynette and Gemma first. With Lorenzo in custody, Gemma will no longer have to fear for her safety.
Good point. We should
Give me a
tell Gemma
moment,
the good
ah.
news right away. It'll give her some peace of mind for sure.
Alright, let's go. Give her some peace of mind. Although I am still not entirely sure. Again, I'm not sure how much longer the story quest is gonna be. Because, again, this is an open and shut case, but do we get to see Lyney's show now, or...? Because, again, if this isn't going on much longer, then I'll finish it today. Because we have now hit the 3-hour mark, so this would be a perfect stopping point for me.
Ah, you're back.
Yes.
You're so quick. I've only just finished my 3rd dessert.
Damn.
Your third? Lynette, come on, we've talked about
She
this.
really was
Everything in
serious.
moderation.
There wasn't a cutscene yet. Yeah, I
We're not
think
gonna
he's
have
gonna
any
do the
room
trick.
left for dinner now.
I think he's gonna do the trick and pull it off, and it's gonna be
fine.
animated.
I'll shift to exercise mode and jog off the excess sugar.
That's besides the point. Well, it's done now. But try to eat a more balanced diet in the future.
Point taken.
Damn.
Did everything go okay?
Of course. Lorenzo was no match for us. The guards are taking him into custody as we speak.
So now
Gosh,
what?
That's amazing. I'm sorry. I still didn't know if I could trust you, but now it seems I can. I had my suspicions about Lorenzo, but I...
Yeah, now you know he be a cold-blooded murderer.
Okay, we understand. He did threaten you. My mom would find it hard to trust strangers in your position too. But you don't need to be scared anymore. Everything's gonna be okay.
Yep, one can hope so.
Sorry. Sorry. My emotions are
Again,
all
we're
over
seeing
the
the
place
animated
right now.
tears again. Though
been
not
waiting for
intense
this
to the
day to
degree
come
that they're
for
rolling
so
down her
long.
cheeks.
I always wanted to report Lorenzo. He took all of Caesar's property, which I found suspicious. But I had people watching me all the time, so I couldn't risk looking into it.
Well, good thing we
I
did
was
that.
so afraid. I was scared he'd do something terrible to me, and then no one would be left to visit Caesar's grave. So I never had the courage to speak out. Thank
So
you
many
all.
people who died with a
Truly.
bad name.
Thank you so much.
Only for them to be proven innocent much later. At Lyney's suggestion, everyone goes to the cemetery to hold a memorial.
Thank you all for clearing Caesar's name. I never would have guessed that Lorenzo was the real Phantom Weasel. He never showed any signs that there were problems between him and Caesar in public. From the outside, it looked like they got along great.
Yeah, except
To
one of
think
them
that
was an
your
asshole,
life's
and
been
one of them
living
was a
life to
good
the
person.
fullest all this time, while Caesar's name was getting dragged through the mud. It's a travesty. At least his soul can finally rest in peace now, thanks to your efforts.
We did a thing! Yay!
If only I'd realized before it was too late.
Don't blame yourself, Gemma. This isn't your fault.
Yeah, you still have the rest of your life to live. Caesar wouldn't want to see you spending it feeling guilty.
There you go. So what do we do now? Ready
Cheer
to
up,
see a
Gemma.
trick? Ready to see his failed trick performed by
My
a real
brother's
pro?
doing a magic show at the Opera House tomorrow evening. Would you
Yep,
like
yep.
to come along?
It might raise your spirits. This show will be a special one. We're holding it in Caesar's honor.
By performing the trick he failed to do.
In Caesar's honor.
Again,
Really?
we're doing it in his honor. In other words, we're flexing on him.
You. I'll be there.
Great. We'll see you tomorrow evening. Traveler, Paimon, don't be late.
Alright, you know what?
Don't worry, we'll be there.
And fail
no
it.
way are we gonna miss out on a free magic show.
Should I be kind enough? Or should I say we'll see the magic show another time?
Paimon feels like we're forgetting something. Oh yeah, Caesar's diary! We never found out if the two kids Caesar taught magic to were Lyney and Lynette or not.
Damn it! I thought the text was over. I hate that. I hate that. One more thing I hate about Genshin is those kinds of segments. The pain. Just like, yeah, text disappears. Okay. Let me just open my menu. The same second I open the menu. Oh, by the way, more text. Oh, never mind. You will never get to hear that text now. Because fuck you. That's why. Alright, you know what? Because this is gonna be the last Genshin stream before it goes on break for a while again. I'll do you a favor and do a little bit longer. Again, I will take a day off tomorrow from streaming. It will be in general the last Genshin stream for a bit today. So it only feels right that I keep going for a little bit longer and show you that amazing performance. Let's do this. Are you ready for the best performance you've ever seen? Although we know how the trick works, so it's not gonna be as impressive. So what? Yeah, today will be the last Genshin stream for a bit. Today will be the last Genshin stream for a bit. I just put the today at the end. Slightly different sentence structure, but same thing. Alright, we're here. Let's see that performance.
Paimon's excited to see another of Lyney's magic shows! Wait. Lynette, shouldn't you be on
I guess he doesn't need an assistant this
Not
time.
this time. My brother's going solo today. So, I'll be watching with you.
Good
That's
evening,
funny,
ladies
Magic Man,
and
yes.
gentlemen. I hope everybody's ready because the show is about to begin.
Are you ready for
Magician
this?
Lyney has prepared a spectacular show for us all tonight, concluding with an all-new grand finale that no audience has ever seen before.
At least no audience has ever seen performed successfully before.
Thank you all so much for coming. Now, prepare to join me on a journey through the mystical and miraculous.
On stage F2, imagine. Lyney wows the audience with his skill.
Exciting stuff, isn't it?
Yes, it's just... It reminds me
It
of
is.
him.
It is in his honor, you know.
Caesar was a famous magician too. So, how did you two first meet, Gemma?
Lyney, yes. That is exactly what he
Well,
said.
I was out on the street once, and I saw him performing for little children. Children love magic, because they're willing to believe in things that can't be rationally explained. Caesar had this amazing way of bringing them into a dreamlike world. And somehow, I felt drawn to him too.
Ah.
So I went up and asked him to do a trick for me.
Aw, that sounds so romantic.
Did he pull out a rose?
What did he do?
It was with a flower. He took it in his hand, snapped his fingers, and it magically appeared on my head.
Ha.
I was so happy that day. No one had ever given me a flower before that.
Oh, that's so cute. Actually, now that you mention it, Lenny's done that one before.
Yeah, he's given us a flower.
Is that right? Then
Are we
I
supposed to
suppose he's
marry
a
Lyney
romantic at
now?
heart, just like Caesar. So let's treasure the time we have with him. After all, you never know when the people dearest to you might be gone.
Don't be sad. The killer has been caught.
That's right. It's all over now. Paimon doesn't really know how to comfort you, but at the very least, no one's gonna be intimidating you from now
Did they
on.
also catch his lackeys? I hope so. I hope the lackeys are also apprehended for working for such an asshole.
You can breathe easy now, Phantom Weasel.
See? Even Lynette says... Wait, what?
Oh?
The Phantom Weasel? Lorenzo escaped? Where is he?
What do you mean, Phantom Weasel?
Are we saying she was the
Everyone
original
said
Phantom
a
Weasel?
performer's job is to commit fully to their role and put on a flawless performance for their audience. But once the bag of tricks is empty and the curtain falls, it's time to end the show. The spotlight is no place for someone with no more cards up their sleeve. It's been 10 years, Gemma. Aren't you tired of the grieving widow act? I think it's time to put an end to it.
Oh shit.
What are you talking about?
Are we saying she was the real one? And the... And Lorenzo was just a copycat here? What if he was just a copycat?
Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you're all enjoying the performance so
Are
far.
they misdirecting me
There
again
will now
here?
be a brief intermission, after which Lyney will perform the most electrifying act of tonight's show, the one we've all been waiting for. The final performance will take place outside of the Opera House, so please make your way outside.
Alright, let's do this.
Orderly fashion.
For the final act.
The Phantom Weasel never did like public places, did they? Don't worry, this place will be quiet soon. Let's talk somewhere else for now.
Huh? Okay then, I guess this is not quite over yet. Got anything you want to say? Well?
Dear me, this is awkward, isn't it? And unfortunately, I'm all out of gadgets, so I'm afraid I can't do any tricks to liven up the mood.
Aw, boo-hoo. Anyway, we don't
This
need
is
livening
a big
up.
mistake for a magician to make, but thankfully, I do have a backup plan.
Yeah, your final
Now,
act will be
Who wants
amazing.
to hear a story?
Lenny, don't we have more important things to address right now?
He'll talk about, you
Lynette
know,
accused Gemma of being
his
the real
history.
Phantom Weasel a moment ago. Oh, what the heck's going on?
All in good time. Magicians are good at guessing what people are thinking. I know the questions you want to ask. And as it happens, the story I'm about to tell might answer a few of them.
Is it the story of how you met Caesar?
Well then, let's hear it. Paimon's dying of curiosity here.
Alright, let's go, come
go
on.
Back to the very beginning. A decade ago, when the Phantom Weasel was terrorizing the court of Fontaine, she never missed a target, never left a trace, and no treasure was safe from her thieving hands.
Uh-huh.
But as her infamy grew, so did the readiness of the police, and her opportunities to act became ever fewer. Every day, she ran the risk of being exposed for who she was. Of course, she could not simply take this lying down, and before long, she found her ticket to freedom. She would create a scapegoat, a false weasel to close the chapter on her behalf. After weighing her options, she set her sights on a renowned magician.
And then they became a couple.
After all, magic and theft shared enough similarities for people to buy the story when the truth came out.
So then what?
Being the master deceiver she was, the weasel easily earned Caesar's trust. Now all that remained was to frame him for her countless crimes. But as she was considering how to make her move, she noticed Caesar's aggrieved pupil, and a new thought entered her mind. Maybe I don't need to get my hands dirty after all. At her
Oh
encouragement,
boy.
Lorenzo tampered with Caesar's magic box.
So she was behind it. Lorenzo was the asshole, but she was the
Afterwards,
one pulling the
Lorenzo
strings.
seized his master's property, and the weasel set about tarnishing Caesar's reputation. 2 co-conspirators committed the perfect crime.
Damn. Well, that's a twist. So she was sus.
I've got to hand it to you. You're both exceptional storytellers. It's enough to make even me wonder whether there was really another mastermind behind all this, pulling the strings. But I just have one question. You seem to think that
that's what they seem to think.
Tale. What's brought this on, Lyney? Is it something that Lorenzo said?
Don't worry, Lorenzo said nothing at all. But I never believed that he was the weasel, and in fact, my investigation only made me more certain of that.
Oh.
He was too forthcoming with his confession, as if there was something else he was trying to hide.
It is true, he did admit everything pretty readily.
So you'd sooner trust Lorenzo than me? Even without a shred of evidence?
He just said he doesn't trust him enough.
At playing the audience to get the result they want. And I have no doubt that you, Gemma, are equally talented in this regard. With a little help from Lorenzo, you put on a very convincing performance. The lovesick fiancé, whose devotion to her betrothed is unshakable, even under threats of violence. Caesar was maligned and hated by all for 10 years, but you? Everyone sympathized with your plight.
Yeah, that is
for
true.
1 second that the lovely young lady always seen weeping in front of Caesar's grave was actually the mastermind behind his demise.
But honestly, the
No,
fact that she
not
goes
that
about
poor
this
lady.
constantly,
Perish
even
the
after 10
thought.
years.
Wait. So
That
you
is serious commitment if that is the case.
thing was just a hoax? Gemma and Lorenzo were both in on it? But why would Lorenzo agree to that? And why didn't he sell her out even at the end instead of admitting to being the weasel himself?
Yes, why indeed? Maybe Gemma
So was it
herself
true
could
that they were
enlighten
in
us on
love
that
then?
question.
Well, Lyney, if you're so confident in your version of events, then I think the answer should be obvious. Having killed Caesar with his own hands, Lorenzo was plagued by overwhelming guilt. Revealing the Phantom Weasel's true identity would serve no purpose. But if the Weasel remained free, then she could take care of Lorenzo's loved ones.
An excellent answer, though sadly a little dull.
Is that right? Well, don't let me bore you. If you'd care to change the topic to something more interesting, I'd be much obliged.
As a matter of fact, there's one thing I'd really like to understand. Why would the real weasel have targeted things that only have value to other people?
True.
Could you shed any light on that?
That is a fair question.
Of course. After all, we're just telling stories here, aren't we?
Yeah, just telling
If
stories.
I had to guess, I would say that the real weasel must have had a terrible childhood. Left to fend for herself after her parents died young. Betrayed. Scorned.
Damn.
Beaten. She'd scrounge waste paper from garbage bins to draw on, using twigs and dirt for lack of ink and pen. She'd sew ugly rag dolls from whatever scrap material she could get her hands on. This was her only source of happiness in life. But it was all she needed, and she was content. Until the world decided that even this was too good for her.
Oh
Once
boy.
again, she was betrayed. And this time, everything was taken from her.
So what, this is all just
She
a
felt
tale
like
of
life was
vengeance?
a
If I
miry
can't be
pit
happy,
that
then no one
dragged her
can be
further
happy? Is
down
that
the
it?
more she struggled to escape. At that tender age,
Well, that's a bit of
she
a
should have been
yikes.
happy. Instead, she stood in the shadows and watched with envy as all good things in the world passed her by. This was a fate too cruel for anyone to bear. Her pain became a
I mean, at
breeding
this point,
ground for
she's
dark
basically
thoughts.
admitting that she's the real weasel.
Thoughts which festered and grew into a twisted
Everyone's
solution to her
admitting to
troubles.
being the real weasel.
I detest the happiness of others, in all its forms alike. I will rob them of everything they hold to be good and true, and it will fill the void in my soul.
Did it fill the void?
pretty heavy
I don't think it
stuff.
did fill the void.
Now it all makes sense.
Does this story satisfy you, Lyney?
Yes, it is quite to my tastes. Thank you for helping to clear up my confusion.
So what was with the warning letter?
Huh. That's right. What drove you to write that letter, Gemma? What were you trying to achieve there? Because without that, none of this would have ever come to light.
She didn't write the letter.
After 10 long years, I'd hoped that the Phantom Weasel would be consigned to the history books by now. But it seems like someone still wasn't ready to let her finally be at peace. Lyney. Or should I call you the Phantom Copycat now?
Oh?
You were the one who posted that letter outside the opera
Really
house.
now? Is that...
But why?
So... And Lyney gave himself that thing of it's personal.
Very sharp,
Because it was for his show.
Still as shrewd as ever.
But it's actually personal
Well,
because of his
no need
connection
for
to,
me be
like,
coy
his
about
master.
it. Our goal was to clear Caesar's name. The most straightforward way to change the public's impression of Caesar was to force the Weasel to show themselves.
That's it? You had no other agenda?
Of course we did. We made it quite clear in the letter, I believe. I shall take from you that which you hold most dear, just as you did to me 10 years ago.
Because they took his
10 years
master.
ago? You mean Caesar's death?
Yep.
You-
We
you
know that
met
much. He
him?
was their master.
Wait. Oh, I get it. You were those two obnoxious kids. It's been so long, and you're all grown up now. I didn't recognize you.
Because they're calling them
He taught you
obnoxious
magic
too,
back
huh?
then, didn't he? For what, 10 days or something? And you went to all this trouble. Why? Because you feel like you still owe him something?
Well,
We
probably because he
remember
was a
all
good
our
person,
debts,
and he
however
was
great or
just,
small.
again...
10 years ago,
Again, that is...
Caesar's reputation was torn to shreds, and his
Man, if I
legacy
had a
was
nickel
thrown
for
out.
every time someone in
10
Fontaine who
years
was a
on,
good
and
person
no one
died,
cares
and
what the
only many
truth
years
is
later
anymore.
was it actually uncovered that he was in
we
fact a good
did
person,
not forget.
I'd have 2 nickels.
And
Which is
so
not,
we
but it's a weird
came
thing it
to
happened
find
twice.
you.
And? What exactly did you take from me? I'm still standing, as you can see. Lorenzo has admitted to everything. I'm free.
Well, that's what you think.
Free? Do you really think so?
Has someone been recording her
Caesar
testimony?
once told me that even though the world is filled with lies and falsehoods,
Remember
we
to
must
listen to
find
Peek
our
in the
own
chat.
truth.
Yeah.
I think that applies to you too. Truth can take many forms. Prized possessions with nostalgic value, fervent hopes and dreams, and irreplaceable people. Life took many things from you, and those wounds never healed. When they ached unbearably in the dead of night, stealing became your way of numbing the pain.
What are you trying to say?
I'm saying that for the last 10 years, you've been living a rather uneventful life. Perhaps that's because you found something other than a life of crime to fill the hole?
So are we saying Lorenzo?
Back to Lorenzo for a second. He murdered his own master, played along with your act, and took pains to make sure any suspicion would be directed towards him. But what did he have to gain from all that? He
So
knew
we
who
are
you
saying
were
that
and
they
the
liked
things
each
you'd
other
done,
then.
And despite that, he was willing to give everything up for your sake. He's the reason that you haven't felt the compulsion to steal in all these years. You're more than just accomplices in murder. You're the only real friends each other has. So I think you know, deep down, that he is the only truth you have in your life.
And now
But
he's in
that truth
jail.
is gone now. And I guarantee you, you'll never see it again.
Guarantee you'll never see it again. Are we dissolving him? Let's go. Let's do it.
Congratulations.
Dissolve
on
him in front of
freedom.
her. Make it even better. Make it more painful.
Your freedom will cost you dearly. From now on, you'll be all alone in a world full of lies and falsehoods. I do hope you'll be able to bear it. You've still got a long life ahead of you after all.
Gather round, one and all. The time has now come for the amazing.
All right, I guess we gotta head out there
perform
now.
his final act in tonight's show. I'm sure you're all wondering what he has planned for the grand finale. Well,
Come on.
wonder no more, for the answer is a
It is.
death-defying high-altitude escape.
It is.
A high-altitude escape?
10 years ago, the trick that Caesar died attempting.
I'm sure you all remember the magician Caesar. This was the very trick that led to his fatal fall, after which he was dubbed the Phantom Weasel. But we have now learned that Caesar was wrongly accused, and that the real Weasel has now confessed to their crimes.
Mm-hmm.
Guess that's my
yeah,
cue to
real
leave.
quote unquote.
I've been practicing this one for ages now, but I'm still a little nervous.
Just don't mess up. If you don't find the button, check the other
I
side.
hope you enjoy the rest of the show.
I liked her
There may be a
outfit.
lot of people watching
Dark
tonight,
colors must be
but You
evil.
alone are my true witnesses.
Lyney, wait. You two hid a lot from Caesar. He went to his grave without ever knowing your secrets. So what about now? Are you an open book? Or are
Oh.
you still the same as ever?
Cynthia's evil slash
You don't
shit.
have to tell lies to end up isolated and alone. One day, you'll end up exactly where I am today.
Oh, will they? I doubt that. I
then
mean,
you'll
I know they're
finally
F2E, but
understand.
still.
You're wrong. I'm nothing like you.
So, what are we, doing now?
Watching the show.
Like Lyney said, when you're ready, let's head outside and watch the show.
Yeah. Didn't think this would take this long to still get to the
She'll
show.
figure out what's best for her.
I figured after we arrived here, we'd see the show right
Oh,
away.
and if you'd like to
But it's
see
been
Lyney
half an
after
hour
the
since
show,
we arrived,
you know where
basically.
he'll be.
And the show still hasn't fully happened. I want to see the cutscene.
Well, let's go and watch Lenny's finale then. This trick's a pretty dangerous one, but he should be able to pull it off.
Lyney's finale, his final act ever. As he also fails. Come on. Let's go. Show me. Show me the magic. Ooh, black screen, cutscene time? Huh? Not yet, not yet. Give it a second. There he is.
Magic should be
Oh,
mysterious.
we get one of these
surprising,
cutscenes, okay.
And defy logic. Magic is hard work. Every single movement has to be practiced thousands of times.
It's alright. We're used to that.
Cute
We're
cat.
sorry. You've taught us so much, but we can't tell you the whole truth.
It's okay. Do you still remember what I told you? This world is full of lies and falsehoods. One day, you can find your own truth.
Fuck you, Rob. Like, genuinely, fuck
What
you.
about you? Have you found your truth?
Anyway, back to this.
Magic is my truth. I want to perform a magic trick so great that people will always think of me when they talk about it.
Yeah, they will think
For a
of you.
magician,
Because you
what
died
greater
during the
honor
trick.
Could there be?
Look! Behold! Lyney is sealed inside the box. Will he manage to
Alright.
escape? 10 years ago, Caesar attempted this very trick, and it was at this precise moment that...
Watch out!
Oh, he's one-upping the trick. Is that it? Snapping the thing? Is he one-upping the trick? Making it even more impressive?
Mysterious. Surprising. And logic-defying.
Oh?
Isn't that right? This honor belongs to you, Caesar.
Because 5-star,
I'm just
yeah.
sorry it's a little late.
And then he died.
Did you see that? 1 minute he was falling, and the next, he turned into flowers.
How could he possibly have done that?
How mysterious.
Very
I didn't
mysterious.
blink once,
Really
he
got him.
just
Really one-upped his
vanished
master.
Right in front of my eyes.
What a heart-stopping magic show. This was really worth the trip. Caesar's name has finally been cleared, and Fontaine's new star magician Lyney has
Alright.
fulfilled a wish
When's
on his
Lyney gonna
behalf.
pop up in the crowd?
I couldn't ask for a better grand finale. It will make a great headline for the Steambird tomorrow, even if I do say so myself.
Looks like everyone really loved Lyney's grand finale.
Alright, even though they don't know the full story.
Paimon doesn't see Lyney anywhere. Where'd he go?
He actually turned into flowers. He
He
died.
said he'd be waiting for us at the usual hunt. But, where is that?
The cemetery?
Oh, you mean the one where Caesar's buried?
Alright, I guess we'll go over there too.
Probably it. This whole magic show kinda seemed like Lyney's way of saying goodbye to Caesar. So it makes sense that that's where he'd be afterward. Alright, let's go look for him there.
Alright, hopefully the final teleport of this. After that amazing cutscene. Alright, this time I'll go up here. That way I can save myself the trouble of climbing, even if the distance is a little bit longer. It's probably still faster than climbing up there. Lyney, I see you! Let me just walk over these graves real quick. And then suddenly teleport behind you.
Lyney! There you are. Are you alright? Paimon was scared to death when the chain broke. Paimon was sure something had gone horribly wrong.
Nice little trick
Magic
there, huh?
is a performance art. A magician has to get creative to keep the audience on tenterhooks. That's our job. So I tweaked Caesar's original setup a little to keep it fresh.
Nicely
I was honestly
done.
a little nervous during the live performance. The thought of falling, suddenly feeling weightless, seeing the sky and the ground spinning and spinning. Sometimes, I can't help but wonder what Caesar thought in those final moments. Did
He probably
regret
just
taking Gemma
screamed
and
fuck
Lorenzo
over
on?
and over again.
Or did he believe that it was his own slip-up right until the end?
You know, Paimon's been wanting to ask you about something ever since we were in Caesar's workshop. You learned magic from Caesar once, didn't you? When was that?
After
they
I
were
joined
still
the
kids?
House of the Hearth. To be honest, Lynette and I had an agenda when we approached him.
An agenda, you say?
I told you about my past before, remember? As a young boy, I survived by secretly learning magic from street performers. I'd watch their tricks and try to figure out how they were done.
Uh-huh.
But I quickly realized that observation alone could only get me so far. What I saw was the polished final performance, but the rigorous training they put in behind the scenes remained invisible to me. I needed to learn how to improve my sleight of hand, hone my misdirection skills, and make niftier props.
And that's why you approached
We were
them.
gifted enough that we'd made some progress by ourselves. But without proper guidance from a professional magician, we quickly plateaued.
And those 10 days brought you very far then.
Yes. We figured there was no harm in asking, but it took us by surprise that he was so willing to teach us. In all, we only spent 10 short days together, but he was very good to us. By contrast, we hid so many things from him. For instance, when he asked why I wanted to learn magic, I answered, it's my passion. But in
And the
truth,
real answer
there was already a
was?
lot more to the story by then. After being taken in by an aristocrat for our magic talent, then betrayed soon after, this was no longer about me doing what I loved.
Ooh.
What amazed me was how the lie escaped my lips even as I was hesitating over whether to tell him the truth. Trust is a beautiful thing. Sadly, I'd forgotten how to trust by then.
Lyney.
I don't blame you, that wasn't your fault.
Still worried about the way I feel? You really are a gentle soul.
Don't
aren't
use
you?
that word in my presence, please.
But don't worry, I'm used to it now. From the mansions of the elite to the house of the hearth, lies and selfishness have followed me and Lynette everywhere we go. After Caesar went on tour, we became busy with our missions. The next we heard of him was that he'd fallen to his death, and was now declared to be the Phantom Weasel. That night, I remembered his smile. But as I lay there, I didn't know what to say to him.
Gently.
To keep secrets is to put up walls.
Don't.
The longer you keep them up, the less you let people in.
Just don't.
Then, one day, you look around and realize your life is like an empty auditorium after a show, full of seats once occupied by all the people who left. But I guess that's the price we have to pay. You only realize how much someone really meant to you when you lose them completely.
There's
That's
a
why I was
yikes,
so
yeah,
confident
boss.
this would hurt Gemma. Because I felt it for myself.
Don't be sad. We're in your auditorium and we're not going anywhere.
Yeah, cheer up, Lyney. We've had to say our fair share of goodbyes during our journey too. But whatever happens,
Tepe, never forget.
Paimon always believes in what tomorrow brings. Delicious food, fun toys, and the traveler by my side. Paimon just needs to focus on things like this, and all the unhappy stuff goes right out the window. You know, Traveler, doesn't that kind of make you Paimon's truth?
Exactly.
Does it?
It's the same for me and Lynette. We are the truest thing each other has in the world, and nothing can replace that. Life has taken plenty from us, like it did from Gemma. But at least it left us with each other. That's what gave us the strength to get through the darkest days. That's why the darkness never consumed me, and why it never will. Maybe we live in the shadows too, but we remember every precious ray of light that shines through.
Yeah. At least
All
look
right.
at them being
Time to lighten
positive.
this conversation up a little. What did you think of the show tonight? Were you happy with it?
Was pretty nice.
Amazing! Paimon just wishes we hadn't been so distracted with the Gemma situation. We spent most of our time in the Opera House just talking and pretty much missed the entire first half of the show. Lyney, could you do just one more trick for us?
Oh, Paimon wants to figure out how the flower
That's a
trick
bit of a
works,
tall
huh?
order, I'm afraid. The show's just finished, so my sleeves are decidedly card-free right now.
Aw, come on! Surely you can think of something. The Lyney Paimon knows can do anything if he puts his mind to it.
Imagine he just pulls,
All right,
pulls a,
then.
hey, what's that over
I'll
there?
give it
We
a
turn
go,
around, turn
but
back,
only
he
because
gone.
it's you. Watch closely. I have a flower in my hand.
I don't see it.
There's nothing in your hand. We ain't going along with this.
Huh? My goodness, you're right. But I could have sworn I brought one here with me. Okay, try this. Count down with me. 3, 2, 1.
3, 2, 1.
Now,
And we have it
another
again.
Look around. Maybe the flowers appeared somewhere else.
Damn it, how do you do that?
Let's see.
How do you always do that?
Wow, there it is! Oh, this is a different flower from the last time, right?
So he learned about the language of flowers now, huh?
Yeah, a rainbow rose. But more importantly, Paimon has to know how the trick is done. Please, Lyney, pretty please!
He won't say it.
Well, if you want to learn magic, you'll have to start by addressing me as teacher.
Fine. Please, teacher, please!
Still no.
Since you asked so nicely, I'll share one little tip with you. Namely, the student of magic cannot solely rely on others being prepared to reveal their secrets. You have to observe, think, and find the answers.
Trust
for
me, I've
yourself.
investigated magic tricks before.
Look at the time.
At
We shouldn't
times,
linger here too
perhaps.
long. Thanks again for coming to see my show. I bid you both good night. I look forward to seeing you again.
All right, fine. See ya.
And
Shall we
that
head
is the
back down
end.
too? Paimon can't wait to read the Steambird tomorrow. Paimon bets Lyney and Caesar will be plastered all over.
Don't tell me it's still not over. This feels like such a good ending. This feels like such a good ending. I thought I could just stream a little bit longer. Now we're 40 minutes over our normal end time and we're still... I said a little bit longer today. This is not a little bit. Drink poison on stage? Ah, yes, what a trick. Are you kidding me? I can't even do it. Ha! 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 Okay, we are ending it here then. Screw you, I guess. Alright, fine. The game adamantly decided, you know what, you're not gonna get to finish this quest. Ow. What? It's not my fault. I literally didn't even accept this quest. I never even accepted this quest. I never talked to this person, to anyone here. It's not my fault that it's blocking me off. It's stupid that it's blocking me off. It should only be able to block me off if I actually accepted the quest, I think. But no, the game just decided, yeah, no, you cannot do that. Which I think is absolute bullshit. Unless, you know what, there's one thing I can try to do. I can try to do one thing for you. Sometimes these quests unlock again if I just do the first step of them. I have to make extra sure I'm logged onto this one. Confirm. Dual evidence. Of in another quest. Steambird interview. Steambird interview. There it is. Where would that be? Let's hope it unlocks it after just doing one quick step here. If not, then I am sorry to say the game is just deciding to be bullshit today. Let's hope this works. I'll cancel navigation on this just in case. Actually, just double checking. It is okay. Let's see it. Truly spectacular weather today, yes, truly. The weather was this cooperative every workday, would be primary indeed. Speaking of work, my dear, your interview for the troubleshooter. I am. Ask about it. It's simple to understand. Putting that aside, observation, every citizen is Steambird. You're relaxed, all to stay calm. Fall victim to misfortune and my own woes. Shut the fuck up. Let me just do the story quest. Tales of Humanity. The batch of commissions. Find some time to read through. Payment. Wouldn't believe, but shouldn't underestimate the value of your work. Or ignore. Rewards. Yeah, I know reputation works, you fucking idiot. Happiness. Fears of aspiration. No need for an interview. Now fuck the... Now, just fuck off. Go away. I hate you. Arrive. Don't be surprised. I have my ways. Think it over. Are we done? Can I do the thing now? Thank you. Why was that a problem? Why could I not do something over here because this person had a quest? That is some bullshit. Absolute bullshit. There is no reason why this would be this should be locked.
My sister and I are quite busy
I think we
today.
can all agree.
I'm afraid we'll have to decline
I think we
this
can all
interview.
agree there was no reason for this quest to be locked.
Take a moment of your time, if you would be so kind.
Huh? What's happening here?
Again, there are some things that sometimes make me hate this game, and this is one of the things that make me absolutely despise this game.
Don broke. I suddenly received news that Caesar's fiancée, Gemma, had contacted the guards and confessed to having been the real Phantom Weasel all along.
That was quick.
Too late, bro.
That was quick, you say? It sounds like I've got some catching up to do.
Say it, should
Fill
I?
me in.
Star Rail. Yeah. Alrighty then.
Aha! My instincts did not lead me astray. You do have something to hide. Gemma turning herself in must have something to do with Lyney's performance last night.
Maybe watching my high-altitude escape trick reminded her of a better time with Caesar, and she could no longer ignore the voice of her conscience.
Yeah, let's go with that one.
Wait, no, there must be more to it. If that's all it took for her to have a change of heart, how did it take her 10 whole years?
Well...
Child's journalistic spirit is burning red. We're going to have to distract her somehow.
Oh, I remember now. You and Gemma were nowhere to be found after the show. What happened between you? Quickfire question. Where did you all go after the show?
Oh, we went to the cemetery and Lyney did a private magic trick just for us. Actually, glad you mentioned it, because that reminds Paimon, guess what? Lyney started using rainbow roses in his trick.
Look at that.
What?
Oh?
I don't recall ever having received a rainbow rose from you myself.
Oh?
Is that supposed to mean that they're more important to you than your own sister?
Oh!
I just,
What the?
Let him go.
What now? Oh, did Paimon say something wrong again? This is getting pretty awkward. What do we do, Traveler?
Seems like this interview
Alright, also Lee, what are you doing here?
There's always
On your
next time.
stream, how are you? Sweaty,
but
because
when
I've
there's
been streaming
explosive news waiting to be
for
found,
almost an hour longer than
away.
usual at this
The
point, I
news
feel
about
like.
Gemma has already made waves.
I wanted to stream just a little bit longer to wrap this up, because we're just like, yeah, we're at the 3-hour mark, but we're seeing his performance now, so this must be the end.
Lorenzo one last
And that has been
time.
almost an hour ago,
There's clearly a web of complicated
which is
relationships
horrible.
there. Can't blame me for being curious. All right, I guess I'll leave you to continue the rest of your conversation in peace. Bye for now.
Lynette? Paimon didn't mean to...
Don't worry, I wasn't angry. I was just trying to distract her.
Alright.
Oh, thank goodness. You scared Paimon there.
Phew. You and me both, Paimon. You and me both. At least it did the job, right?
Please, take good care of that rainbow rose.
Oh, we will.
I'd be really upset if you lost it.
There it is. Took a while, but we got it. We are now officially done. Oh boy. Now let's set up a raid, shall we? I think we have enough people for one. Now the only problem is... I have a strong feeling that if Alex is live today, I have missed a bunch, yes. I will have missed quite a bit, I guess. How long? Yeah, just as I figured. At the time, about the time I wanted to end, the stream, Alex went live, and that was, yeah, almost 50 minutes ago. So I missed a shit ton of stuff. Alright. I hope there wasn't anything going on there during that time. Also, I'll learn my lesson from last time. I'll use the raid command instead of everything else. I'll use the raid command today. Because apparently, everything else sucks ass. You cannot trust the stream manager to actually set up the raid properly sometimes. Horrible stuff. In any event, I want to take this moment to thank you so much for watching. I am dying. I am honestly sweating. I don't know. I don't even want to touch my PC to find out how hot that thing is. In any event, I'll see you around on Friday probably for more FNF. Genshin is once again on break now for a little bit until new story content comes out. Until then, everyone have a good one and I'll see you around. Bye bye. And of course, if you're watching the stream after it's been uploaded to YouTube as a VOD, you can check the description down below in case you want to catch me live. I stream every Friday and Saturday, sometimes other days as well. Sadly, I'm not quite as regular with Genshin, but don't worry, if there's a new Genshin update, I will stream it. In any event, thank you for watching, and I'll see you around. Bye bye.